The meth thing's a joke, right? By the way, is the meth thing real?
Yeah, it's real.
No, it's not.
It is. You do meth too.
Dude, it's not real. It's Adderall, right?
Dude, no, it's meth.
You do math. You also do math. Why are you acting like that?
I don't do
People
meth.
are so retarded. They don't realize that meth and Adderall.
It's the same thing. I know. Yeah, I told him that actually from your stream clip. I told Steezy, I'm like, yeah, meth and Adderall. So he's like, what? Yeah, Big Pharma just capsulizes them.
It is. They just want to make money off
That's
of
literally
it.
what it is. Meth is just like pure mental benefit, like where Adderall is like has physical stuff.
Why are you selling me? I want to do meth now.
No, I'm not.
I want to do it too.
I'm joking.
That's the thing.
No,
I've never tried
No.
to sell anyone. I've never.
Well, I kicked the cup, so it's time to get something.
Because the thing is, meth is extremely addictive. So that's why I tell people don't do meth. Do not do it. I just have strong willpower, so I could actually.
Oh, I saw you say do cocaine if you want to talk to girls.
Well, yeah. I was fucked up when I said that. So that is
it was probably before you though.
Oh, you know how it.
No, I like said that yesterday.
I liked your stream with Nick. It was funny.
You liked it? Dude,
yeah.
Nick is the man. I love Nick.
It was funny to see him in that environment. You know, you never see him.
Did you see
More casually.
Patrick Bet David said Shapiro canceled because
of Nick was
because of
on.
Nick.
Yeah.
Man, I was talking to him about it, man. You know, he's 19, but you've been doing it for such a long time. And honestly, me, like, I love that Nick is setting this tone where people can come out and say and do whatever the fuck they want to do. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of reminds me of just like the old
I don't know.
internet.
Say whatever you like. I think that Joker. I know he's funny.
That, I'm not talking about Paul Miller. I'm not talking.
Yeah,
about
no, but
I
he's
said
an example
Nick.
of somebody who says whatever he wants.
No,
It's
but
it's
he's
not beneficial.
He's too like deep into that. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Fuentes. He does it in a positive way.
Yeah, because he's saying what he believes in and saying what he thinks is right.
And he's
you
been
know?
consistent about that for years, and now it's finally people are just being like, "Yo, it's good."
We're gonna do that gaming stream.
We do. I want him to be on it too.
So you're SSB now. You're the new recruit.
Yeah, we recruited him. We jumped him in.
I don't know.
Well, let me just tell you this.
So kick Convy out, bring Clavin. Like that's
Yes.
a good
Well,
swap.
he introduced me to meth, and now I love him.
Did you see that Matt Walsh thing?
What match? Well,
Do you know Matt Walsh?
Yeah.
No. He was
I do.
he called me retarded yesterday. I said, okay,
called
let's
you
look-
retarded?
Yeah, and then I said, let's debate. And you respond.
he won't do it. Yeah.
But he replied to my tweet saying, call me retarded. He's like, I want to do that.
Who's Matt Walsh? What does he do?
He's Ben Shapiro's.
He's just
He's
some-
best slave. So you know how your
Yeah,
best
he's-
slave is like Cheezer?
He's
Or
a
Convy?
Shavi's boy.
Yes. Ben Shapiro's top. I'm not even. His top slave is Matt Walsh, and so
Yeah.
that's why. He's
Hey, what
afraid.
about the rabbi you're beefing with? Come on, what's his name?
Yasso?
No.
I was beefing with another rabbi.
You know what I'm talking about. The one when you were doing the ball drop stream, I think. You know what I'm talking about? Shmuley or something?
Oh, that fucking yeah. That was the election last
He
year.
owns you.
Dude, he runs a dildo company with his daughter.
Wait, what?
Yes. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, look. I saw the tweet you say, yo, I ain't gonna lie, the Jews get a bad look. I promise you guys, I'm not bad. All right, let me be the leader. I'm one of the good ones.
You should be the prime minister of Israel.
I agree.
Kick Netanyahu out. I want him to lead Israel. He's the best Jew.
I think I would die.
You're saving their PR right now. Shmuley's making Jews look. He looks like a caricature.
Yeah.
And he dresses up like that and owns dildos with his daughter.
Now, be honest, how bad do you think it is now, like the all time? Is it the worst it's ever been?
No, it's been worse. You've been kicked out of 109 countries. You're still allowed.
Wait, what does that mean?
Well, it's been so bad that Jews have been kicked out of 109 countries.
Yeah.
And so it's been worse. It's
Do
been worse.
you
PR.
categorize me in that category at all?
You're like a pick-me Jew.
What does that mean?
I don't really think of him.
So I
as a
choose
Jew.
when it
He
benefits
just
me?
doesn't
No,
sound like a Jew.
it doesn't choose it, but you're like I'm one of the good ones. Well, you are. A lot of them are good. I don't want people to say that. There was good ones at the Mamdani election too.
Yeah.
The Torah Jews, I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't you think it's like almost admirable that like Jews are able to do all this shit?
It's impressive. There's not that many of them, and they're
Bro,
not
I want to
strong.
be a fucking Jew. I want to run the world.
Hey, you know what? Let's convert you, my friend. Let's
No,
convert
no.
you.
I'm Catholic, but
Don't worry,
it doesn't matter.
SNEAKO and Tate fell out. He's gonna come to Judaism. I know he is.
You can't convert. Can we talk about something wholesome? This isn't gonna go on YouTube, man. We're talking
I
about
know.
meth and Jews. Like I just got a
meth
bet.
and Jews is not
I'm not
good.
even monetized yet, bro.
You're not my. Oh fuck yeah.
man.
I mean, we could start talking about the N-word. So.
Talk to you, boss.
Can you do the Looks Max review?
Looks Max review?
I want to see. Yeah.
I don't know.
Good to see you, Teal.
I'm not a huge fan of the haircut. I gotta be honest. I think it's a little too clean shaven.
Too bald.
Yeah, too bald.
Okay.
You are looking good though. You're lean. You know what I'm saying? So
What do you rate him 1 through 10?
6'2.5".
6'2.5", good stuff.
I could lie and say 6'3". My license says 6'3".
Lie, bro.
All right.
No, I'm not a liar. I'm a straight up. Lying is because of fear.
Dick's leaked. He was a model. He was a porn star.
That's not true. This
Hey,
guy.
guys.
That is true.
He's just making shit
I saw
up.
it.
You saw his dick.
Bro, your son is gonna see you sitting on people's asses that are black for clout.
Good looking guy. Moggs for sure. You know.
Moggs.
Do you think the Looks Max shit is cringe or what?
I mean, it's important sometimes. Some people take it too far. I think the self-improvement.
Did you hear his
people-
argument about? She said that Charlie Kirk wouldn't have passed away if he was more handsome. Do you agree with that?
What?
It's the same thing as the Luigi thing. No, for real, that's an argument because it's like a halo effect.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with like the Luigi guy, right? The Luigi guy was handsome and he killed someone, and now everyone loves him. These girls are obsessing over him.
Charlie Kirk, he does the debates. He basically says nothing. He's a normie at the end of the day. And they
Like
kill
nothing
him
hateful,
'cause
you're
he's-
saying.
Yeah, because he's ugly. You know what I'm saying? But if he were to be,
Was damn, it's a dead guy.
he's
Rest in peace.
I know he's dead, but like,
RP.
R.I.P. But he was subhuman at the end of the day.
No, I criticize him all the time. I didn't
Yeah,
really
I'm
like
not a
him.
huge Charlie Kirk guy, but like if he was good looking, you know, his points would be received a lot better.
It's the same
That's
thing
what
with
I'm saying.
Luigi. Luigi killed someone like with a real gun, and he has supporters.
It's like that blonde girl who got stabbed in the train by the black guy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like
It's way
people
different.
are saying, "Thank God she's hot," because if she
Really?
wasn't, people wouldn't talk about it.
It's true. I mean, lookism is like
no,
arguably
I'm
one of
agreeing
the
with
Oh,
things,
okay.
you know?
Lookism? I've never heard that before.
Yeah, like judging people based on their looks, you know. Like
Does the
halo
meth
effect.
do anything to your face? Like, does it affect
It
your?
leans it out, right?
Well, no. The way that it works is to suppress your appetite, so you get super fucking lean off meth.
Oh, because you don't eat.
You have a hard time eating? It's
What?
hard, you have a hard time not eating?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I'm always like binging.
I might get on testosterone. He's trying to put me on.
Yeah.
What's your testosterone levels?
He said 3,000.
Yeah.
What was it
No,
before?
it was like 2,200.
Or
2020. What was it before you started injecting?
Like 650. Yeah.
Yeah. That's above average, though.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna probably get like 3,000 tests. I want to try to.
What are you at right now? You know?
400.
That's below average, I think.
Well, like when I was working out in Canada, I was like 600 something.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in not being on TRT with all like the fucking societal like.
Meth and TRT.
Dude, it's legit, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Meth, TRT.
I mean, it's basically
How old are you?
Addy
19.
You're 19. No, you haven't even finished developing testosterone naturally.
Yeah, I mean,
No, you haven't. It just stops. It starts teetering off at 35.
yeah, but I'm not. No, it's a little younger than that. But anyway, there's no point in not being at a super physiological level of test like earlier in your life. Like I want to feel better like now. I don't want to wait until I'm fucking 35. You know.
Well, then when you are 35, you're not going to be producing testosterone naturally the
Doesn't
same
matter.
way.
It doesn't matter. I'm always gonna be on.
You're just going to
testosterone.
juice the whole life.
Yeah,
My question is, what if you cold turkey stop in 5 years?
I would be fine. I'd be 100% fine.
No meth, no test.
I'd be fine.
Dude, you're like running on a limitless pill, literally.
Well, dude, yeah, literally.
Like,
that-
you are limitless.
Well, like it's 2025. The science is there. That's what I always, tell people. There's no reason not to. And I know there's like a lot of like fear mongering going on because like the mainstream media isn't honest, so you'd assume like big pharma isn't honest either. It's true to a degree, but like pharmaceutical drugs are the future.
I might do it. He's convincing me.
I think wait till 35. Pace it out.
Too old, right? What's the point?
What's the point of waiting to feel more energetic, sleep better? It doesn't make any sense,
I have thought this before. I have like all the points you're making are things I'm like, yeah, I know, but
He's right though. What if you die in like? No, I'm sorry, that was weird.
what the hell?
I was gonna be like, what if you die like tomorrow? You better feel the way you feel. Like you.
Yeah, dude.
What are you gonna say? Oh, till 35.
What if BB comes for you in the next 2 years, man? Come on, we gotta.
I thought your face was gonna be fat, but you're looking
Dude, I've been off lean
for how long?
forever. I've never touched it.
Lean as coke, bro. Lean as coke. I'm telling you.
I mean, dude,
Why
think
did
about
you-
it.
look,
Look, if I was doing lean, I might as well do testosterone. It's healthier, right?
Yeah.
You're doing like
Let me ask you,
he's doing Aryan drugs, meth and
what I'm saying.
But let me ask,
steroids.
have you ever
You're
done-
doing black people drugs.
Have you ever done Molly before?
No, never.
Do you know Hitler was giving
Yes, I've done
all his
MDMA,
soldiers
yes.
meth? You know that, right?
I heard that's a Joe Rogan talking point.
No,
I
it's
don't,
real. It's real.
that's a Joe Rogan talking point.
Nah,
but
he
still.
was. He was. Trust me.
Is that- what's the proof
And he
of
killed
that?
6 million people. SNEAKO, my people.
Exactly 6 million. Yeah.
Not one less.
I heard it was 6 billion.
Why are you guys laughing?
No, but anyway,
It was
they-
6 million.
They
Not-
were literally
not
giving.
one of
Oh my
soldiers
god, you
meth.
guys, are you
So
serious?
it's like it's an Aryan drug.
What's the proof of that though?
well because
Besides Joe Rogan.
what? There's a lot of documentation for the pharmaceuticals. It's well documented.
And that's why like Hitler was at the games like tweaking his legs like this.
Yeah, he was a
it's like
bad
the-
man.
What's the best step somebody could looks max immediately?
Honestly, getting lean and tan, unless you're ethnic, is probably the best.
Wait. What do you mean unless you're ethnic?
Well, obviously you don't want to tan if you're ethnic. You know what I mean?
I could probably get a little more tan. I'm ethnic.
Let me ask you a question real
You
quick.
don't think I'm like I think I'm paler than Aiden right now.
Nah, you're not. Question, I'm a Jew. Do you think Jews have like some of the worst genetics for physical traits?
Jews don't have great physiognomy, but like,
Why not?
You're not the worst.
I'm not the worst looking Jew you've seen.
You don't have
All
like.
right, who's like your top 3 ugliest Jews? And you guys be
Oh
honest.
man, Rabbi Shmuley.
He's
easily.
handsome.
That is an ugly fuck right there. That's a gremlin looking motherfucker.
You're being weird.
Another fuck. Or continue though. I don't ever.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Dude, I just don't. I couldn't name like 3 Jews off the top of my head.
Oh, Adam Sandler. You got me.
Drake.
Drake.
Drake is pretty ugly. I'm not gonna.
No, he's not.
Drake?
Drake is handsome.
No, he's subhuman.
What does that mean? Subhuman.
Dude, his eyes are giga far apart.
Bro, he's handsome. What the fuck? He's natural. No surgeries.
I feel like you're only saying
You want
that.
to fuck him? Like, what are you?
You're saying that because he's famous.
No, he's just good looking.
I swear, if he was a normal guy like you saw on the street, you wouldn't think twice. You'd be like, dude,
What do you rate yourself 1 through 10?
I don't rate myself. I feel like that's like not a good.
Like SNEAKO, what do you rate him 1 through 10?
I don't rate men.
You have a porn collection. Of
Dude, I feel like it's. I don't know why people say that. Like, it's not a homosexual practice.
It's not. You could tell when a man is attractive.
It's
Yeah.
literally like it's a numbers game.
Like I could tell you're handsome. I'll be
Yeah.
real. So listen, the amount of lean I was doing, and you could look it up. You could literally look it up. Whatever you guys want to do. I was doing 6 to 8 lines a day. There's 16 lines in a pint. Okay, so I was doing half a pint a day. Now the equivalent to what I was doing was 20 milligrams of heroin a day. That's what I was doing equivalent of my peak lean.
I don't really like understand this metric though. Like,
So
don't know
I
if
was
that's
doing
a
20.
lot.
Imagine me injecting 20 milligrams of heroin,
I
but throughout
don't
the
know
night.
what that means.
Microdosing heroin for.
Microdose? That's
I'm
like
doing
a low
20
dose.
minute. I'm doing 20 milligrams of heroin a night.
Dude.
Microdosing it. You know, like. 'cause
How
if-
much do people take when they normally
Yeah,
do
when they
heroin?
pin-
Oh, a teaspoon. So like a quarter of a line. So.
Like tweakers.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like people who are like in trap houses shooting up heroin. How much are they doing? Like how many milligrams?
Oh, I was doing a good dose. I don't know, 5.
They shoot 5 milligrams.
Listen, I don't know. Listen, I was doing a big dose though, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you doing it like while you're streaming?
Yeah. All the
Yeah.
time. They start biting his feet and getting really angry.
So what I will tell you is this, and if you know, you know, the withdrawals are just the craziest part about everything. That I think the withdrawals are the hardest thing to go through. I mean,
What'd
you've
you
probably
feel?
went through withdrawals before, right?
Of what?
When you would do Molly back in the day.
No, I never
you
had
would be depressed in bed and shit after the effects.
Yeah, Molly's the worst of the
It
worst.
crashes all your fucking chemicals.
Yeah,
No,
your
I never really
serotonin.
had it. To be honest,
I've withdrawn and SNEAKO's helped me out and helped me push me a couple times
I've never had bad withdrawals really.
from Molly.
Back in the day, yeah, I've taken Molly before, but you just take a magnesium pill, and I would stay really hydrated, and I'd make sure my diet was good.
Yeah, he's the same way with you. He thinks like IVs are a scam, which they kind of are.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's for rich
IVs.
people to.
But it's a scam. I mean, like you can get it other ways. Like
They're underdosing you. Yeah, you got to do it yourself. You absolutely have to do it yourself.
yeah,
Like 150 milligrams of NAD. It's like, what are we talking about?
yeah. You do NAD?
I did it twice because Steve will do it, said so, and I didn't feel anything.
It takes a while. How long does it take to really feel the
Like
effects?
20 minutes. But they're underdosing you when you do the IVs. You need to do it yourself.
He's saying inject it into yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a nurse to come in and inject
No,
it.
because they underdose it and they overcharge you for one injection. It's like what?
So NAD actually has real benefits.
Yes, but they're underdosing you when you do like the one and done like nurse practitioner bullshit. know
You do look like Bradley Cooper in Limitless, like after he takes the Limitless pill.
the NZXT.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
NZXT is probably like a combination of meth and testosterone.
Yeah, I feel like I created my own like NZT or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't take growth hormone, or do you?
I do.
Yeah, Clav, you want to fight on BRAINEAKO, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, he was supposed to fight Fresh.
Yeah.
I'll do it. He's kind of retarded. I'm not gonna lie. Like
What?
His worldviews a little bit.
His worldviews.
Yeah.
I don't think he has any.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, the commentary isn't very, introspective.
Yeah, name one of his points that he's ever made.
Exactly. Yeah, I literally can't. I don't know.
Podcaster.
Yeah,
I can.
You kind
What?
of.
Come on.
Dude, the red pill guys, man. Come on.
All
they're
dorks,
just-
man.
He's literally red pill.
Yeah.
I know. 2 years ago, I left that shit.
Yeah, you did. You did.
He's more like political shit. The red pill is like the masculine cringe, like jesters.
Not facts.
You know what I mean?
And there's a hole in the market now, so the looks maxers can take that spot.
Well, dude, because it's real. Like the red pill guys are like talking about all these ridiculous strategies to get women in like the modern dating market, and it's like, dude, it's all looks. Like, let's be real.
You think so?
Yeah, it's like they're
Don't you think it's mostly confidence and aura for men?
not
Confidence and aura.
Not even a little bit.
There's a lot of really
Confidence?
there's a lot of spurgy autistic guys that are traditionally good looking and don't know how to speak to women at all. Like, what? Tell me about Elliot. What's his name?
Elliot Roger?
Yes.
He's subhuman. He looked like shit.
You could say a lot of people could put him like a 6 or a 7.
Subhuman.
Well, dude, I'm pretty spurgy. Like I'd say I'm like heavily neurodivergent, but I've always had success. Just like simply.
No, you're not Spurky. You make content publicly. You're all like on an extroverted level. That's.
Well, regardless, I mean, it's going to be about looks. Like that's the main driving metric for success with women. Like, there's no point in like, you know, these guys saying these ridiculous strategies like, oh, just get rich, bro, and you're like, y'all be good. It's like, it's crazy.
I mean, I see what you're saying. What I hear is like it's more you have full belief that it is looks. So if you have full confidence in that, your confidence radiates. So you believe that you're a 10, and then girls read that on you. So you have that confidence from what you look like.
No, absolutely not. Confidence certainly is an important metric, but at the end of the day, if you're a subhuman jester, like when we go out with like Cuff'em or whatever, or is Cuff'em? Like Cuff'em's a confident guy, but you know the looks are not there, so you know it just doesn't work.
But he had some girls. There was a
Cuff got some bitches.
Did he? You know, it's like, let's be real. You know, someone who's actually very good looking with no status, no money whatsoever, they're gonna outcompete, you know, someone who's not good looking, all the money in the world.
Okay, explain Tom Cruise. What is it? Was he like pretty short?
Tom Cruise is good looking. He's extremely good looking.
But he's gay.
Great face. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, let's be real. Like, what are we talking about? Tom Cruise? Like,
No, I mean he's a Hollywood actor.
yeah, of course. Like, you know, it just seems so ridiculous to say that looks are not the most important.
Okay, what about the murderer Manson, Charles Manson?
Charles Manson?
He led a cult. He was like 5'6", really ugly, and he had so much charisma. He had a cult of women murder for him.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly an interesting one. But when you're so far on the fringe, like this.
Okay, was Hitler handsome?
And look at that, he led an entire nation. No, he was not a traditionally handsome. He was also short, but he had so much, undeniably, he had charisma and aura. He was able to deliver speeches better than anybody.
Absolutely. It's certainly important. Like, I'm not denying the fact that, you know, charisma and all this stuff is incredibly important, but like to say that looks aren't the main driving factor seems kind of ridiculous to me. Wouldn't you agree?
I think it is. I think for women.
I'm sorry.
You know, just looking at the dating app statistics.
It's okay. We're pushing it for you.
So
I got you. Don't worry.
We take a look at like the bottom 80% of women going for the top 20% of male profiles. It's like, you know, it's clearly looks. You know.
Yeah, dating apps has made it more physical, but if you meet in real life, I don't think it's the same.
I mean, but the majority of people meeting nowadays statistically is on dating apps. That's just the society we live in. And that sucks. It's cringe as fuck, but like that's how the world is.
Where do you meet girls?
IRL, in real life. I don't do dating apps. You know, that's gay as fuck. But that's what most people are doing, you know?
Yo, he's funny, right?
You know, I'm 19 years old. I'm not used to.
And that's the craziest part. You don't look 19, you know?
Yeah, I do hear that a lot. So yeah, like I'm 19. Like I'm not used to being on a yacht with a bunch of literal like OnlyFans, like pornography.
Welcome to streaming.
Yeah, literally. I mean, it's like I'm gonna have to get used to it. Maybe I'm just being like kind of a bitch. But
no, you don't have to do that type of content.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with it.
I think the way I see it is just whatever you don't want to do, don't do it. A lot of times, Kick will make you think that you need to. That you need, like they'll always say, do this, do that, call this guy. And I'm like, man, I'm not your dancing monkey. You know?
No,
I'm not gonna slam the cymbal. Like even in the editing stream just now, like this is boring. Like, hey, dumbass, why'd you click on an editing stream and think that I'm going to be with OnlyFans girls on a yacht?
Exactly. And that's not even good content because it's so repetitive and so oversaturated that it's just like, what's even the point of this? So I don't like any of the girl content. They're not very interesting. They have really nothing to say or nothing to offer besides, you know, being like background characters. So I'm like, dude, I would rather be an interesting personality myself than be a part of this. And I knew, you know, after all the disrespectful stuff, that it was not gonna be good if I was on a yacht because you're stuck out there for 4 hours. Right. And I knew it was gonna get progressively worse and worse. So I told him, I was like, turn off the mic for a second. And I pulled him aside for like 10 minutes. I was like, I don't know if you think this is funny, but you know, the way that you talked to me was like the most egregious thing that I've ever heard. And you know, I would be insane if I were to get on a yacht with you. You know, I told him, I was like, I appreciate the offer and I appreciate you inviting me out here. But you know, I'm not gonna put up with this. Like, I didn't make it a big deal. He's like, oh, like you got butt hurt, and I was like, no, dude, I didn't get butt hurt. It's like I just didn't want to be on a yacht with you for 4 hours. Like, dude, the very unlikable person, in my opinion. Like, that's not the way to talk. And his main thing that he kept saying to me was, oh, well, you said this about the girls that I'm with. And it's like, if we're gonna categorize these women the same, then I think that's a conversation we need to have. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna, sit here and act like, these girls who are posting porn videos are equivalent to my girlfriend.
Right.
So
That's good. You stood on business.
Yeah. So, dude, I'm just like, I told him, I'm like, dude, I'm not going for a clip. As soon as you guys saw, as soon as the camera came over, I was just like, have a good day, man. Like, I'm genuinely, I was just like, this is outrageous. Totally outrageous. I stayed extremely level-headed. And I was trying to teach him a lesson, but I think at the end of the day, he already knows what he's doing to a degree, and it's like a very forced persona. Like,
You must say a little closer to saying the mic's low.
say it closer.
Yeah, it's turned all the way up. It's just the way.
Yeah, but like he knows what he's doing. That's why I was just like, I'm not going to really bother explaining myself. You know exactly your intent. He's like, oh, it's not my intention to disrespect you. It's like, really? That's not your intention when you say Aiden Ross is gonna, fuck my girlfriend and take her on a jet, and she's in the door like doing this. I'm like, this is egregious, man. This is crazy.
He was saying good things about you on the jet. You were sleeping the whole jet ride. Everyone was saying positive things about you.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I liked all those guys a lot. That was like literally the first bad interaction I've ever had with any creator. I haven't done as many collabs as like some of the guys who have been in the game for a while, but like Aiden, you, like everyone there was so nice. Like nothing you wouldn't expect. So that was really refreshing. But yeah, that like really caught me off guard.
One thing I noticed, I think that you were appreciative of, was that in the vlog I cut out a lot of the stuff that could be bad.
Yeah.
I think maybe some of the funny stuff, I'll look through it again. I haven't had time to look through it all. I can post it on X. But we vlogged so much at BRAINEAKO. Some of the conversations backstage were just like, I just got unbanned on YouTube. I'm not gonna. They would all want to see it, but it's like, a lot of yeah.
We should do a review of that footage to see, like, because I really didn't think it was that like bad, but maybe it's just because it's not like a step I've taken like before.
It's overall it's career limiting, I would say.
Oh, okay.
I think it's too early.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I think it's too early.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad.
CO Dills, what's up, man? It was pretty bad. Yeah, even Aiden's barber is in the chat right now saying it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wait. We'll wait. Yeah, you're brand new in this. I feel like the unk of the game. I've been doing this.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh shit.
And I've been doing this since I was 13.
Yeah.
I've been in this for a long fucking time, man.
Yeah, so that's well, I appreciate you for looking out there, but
yeah,
man, we were just getting a little political there for a second, so
I wanted to show you the Matt Walsh stuff.
Yeah, go
and
for
see
it.
what you think, because some people in the chat are saying you look subhuman next to Clav, and it just reminds me of what Matt said. You haven't seen any of this stuff yet?
No, this is all new to me. I'm not really too tapped in with the.
I can't show them I'm not logged into Twitter. This is it's like I'm not here always, so I don't have my logins.
Yeah,
I'll show you my phone.
Okay, sure.
And let's see what you think. Oh, ask us what's your opinion on Hamza?
Hamza, I don't like Hamza's content a lot. I think he's leading a lot of people astray. His advice is only really going to work for you if you're already someone who's so successful in their looks and their career. Like if you start applying Hamza's game and you're just like a normie, like that's going to be a utter embarrassment for you.
What is the overall message? Is do push-ups and journal?
Do push-ups, journal. It's like a lot of he talks about a lot of masculine and feminine frames.
Adonis and Jeffrey.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Hamza.
Like mindset stuff. That would be good if you're someone who's already well established in their career, making a ton of money, already in shape, good looking. Sure, that mentality stuff is good, but if you're just saying this shit to people who are subhuman, people who are working normal jobs, and they start applying this, it really will be embarrassing when they spend all this effort, they put in all this time, and the results are nothing like promised by Hamza. Hamza is a multimillionaire off social media, so sure, if he is confident, sure, when you have millions of followers and you DM a chick with all your confidence, it's going to go a lot different than his average viewer, is what I'll tell you.
You know what I don't like? I like self-improvement stuff, and looks maxing. It's good to care about your image, because a lot of guys think it's stupid or a waste. Mm-hmm. So it's good seeing people do it. I think the journaling thing is dumb. Mm-hmm. I think it's just you found a word to say writing in your diary. Mm-hmm. But for men, you should write with a purpose. If I'm going to write something, it's going to serve a function. It's going to be for a video, a commentary, but writing in your little diary every day. And not to diss it, I like Hamza and stuff like that, but I've met people who do the daily journaling, and it gives you the illusion that you're productive and you're not doing it. I ate an egg today. So
Yeah.
fucking what? Like make some money or create something and it's
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I really doubt like the average guy has something worth writing down more than once a week, right? So
Yeah, what are you gonna talk
it's
about?
so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just journal. Well, it's like because that kind of almost makes me think you're like forcing yourself to be introspective, and the conclusions you come up with are not going to be good because it's forced. You don't need to write this down. Sure, maybe if you have like a really like insightful idea, all of a sudden write it down. What I usually do is just record myself like talking about it if it's something actually worth a shit. But then again, it's very rare you have something worth like noting, and to force yourself to do that. On a
What's
daily-
your workout routine?
So I work out every day. I mean, I haven't for the past 3 days, but I do push-pull, right? So I'm doing,
No legs?
well, it's part of it. So like on the push days, I would be doing my quad extensions. And on the
okay.
pull days, it's the hamstring curls. So it's just that. It's literally just chest, shoulders, and triceps, and then back and biceps, alternating.
Okay.
Because a lot of people think that you need like, to train with this absurd amount of volume, but it's like, it's more about the frequency than the amount of training sets, So keep the sets low and keep the frequency of hitting each muscle very high.
That's a great question. Ask Clav, does your aura matter more or your looks when it comes to talking to girls? That's from the party chat.
Well, I mean,
We had this argument, and I don't know if you remember it at Brown Rice, but
well, the two are kind of tied, obviously, because the way people perceive your aura is, going to be based on your looks. So that's the same, let's just use the word personality because aura is kind of just a ridiculous internet term.
you think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not very specific. So just your personality in general is going to be perceived better right off the bat, just based off the looks, the halo effect. So it seems ridiculous to isolate these two things, That's why looks are so important because, people will separate all these things, but they're completely tied together.
I brought up the example yesterday. We were talking about this. Charles Manson, right? Let's show you a picture of him.
Yeah, but I mean, for every one example, there's a million, things that contradict it entirely.
But aren't cult leaders the perfect example of like aura and personality and how important that is? Right. See, Charles Manson was like what 5'5" or something like that, and he ran a cult from like these beautiful LA girls and got them to murder for him.
Okay,
right?
well, I mean,
They were all madly in love with this guy.
not the.
Is he a subhuman? Is he?
No, I wouldn't say so at all.
What do you think he
I
is?
really wouldn't say something. I wouldn't say subhuman. But yeah, that's quite impressive. Sure, like if we've got 99th percentile manipulation abilities, that's going to go a long way. But for the average person, you're not going to be that percentile in manipulating women to be serial killers. I don't think. So someone like Andrew Tate, for example, maybe not the best looking person ever, but when you have all these other metrics in place, like how good he is with his game and how he's framing himself to women and his status, social media presence, whatever, you could kind of make up for one thing, right? But it just seems ridiculous to use like one singular anecdote without looking at the full picture.
What about Hitler?
Hitler, like I said,
And I'm not saying this politically. I'm saying because he had charisma, aura,
Yeah,
he commanded a nation, and not a traditionally good-looking guy.
Yeah, he was able to captivate an entire country just based on his speaking. But I think a lot of that's to do with like his mannerisms and like how fanatical he was, the times. These really extreme examples, are these like really going to be applicable to most people? It just doesn't seem
Okay, so for the average person, looks is
Yeah.
more important than
absolutely
than aura.
Yeah, it's the most important metric. Yeah, and the two are interconnected.
Okay. And what's the best way that the average person can get to the next level immediately?
Well, you look at like the obesity stats in America, and the average person is just so egregiously overweight that you can't even really start to analyze what's wrong, what are the flaws in their looks, until they lose substantial amount of weight. So just for the average person, getting to like 10 to 12% body fat is going to put you so far ahead of the average person that it's going to go a long way. And that's really not that hard. With stuff like the GLP-1s, Ozempic, it shouldn't be too challenging for you to get to 12% body fat. That seems very realistic to me.
But Miami, you've seen the guy with the sleeve tattoo, an old dude with like a really beautiful, bad, big booty Latina, right?
Mm-hmm.
That couple's all over the city. Why does that happen?
Well, I mean, the status and money are certainly real, right? That'd be a complete clown to deny the status pill, that you can't pull women based on all these different metrics. I'm just saying that looks is the most important important one. You know, you have to come with the full package, obviously, or come with nothing at all these days, because it's a very competitive dating market. That's how I think about it.
Yeah.
We could go through a million different examples of, you know, how did this guy get this girl, and there will be like weird circumstances sometimes. But I think, you know, if we just say things as an overall look into, you know, how things are, looks are the most important.
What do you think about tattoos?
I think tattoos are low class, degenerate. they make you look like a thug.
Yeah.
You don't think?
I have a lot of tattoos.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I would ever consider.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I see that. I think they look worse on women. I think they can.
Oh yeah, no.
Some can look
100%.
tasteful.
Yeah, I mean, some people have like the phenotype, like the look. You know, it's like super tan, like roided up. You know, with rocking the tattooed arm sleeves. Sure, but you know, the women that you're gonna attract based on like this SM, you know, you're putting yourself into a whole nother.
SM what?
Like based on like the SMV.
Oh right,
like,
sexual market.
Yeah, increase of like getting tatted up. You're really like changing the women that you're gonna be attracting to a high degree.
Okay.
You know,
People are saying, "Well, what's my PSL score?"
I don't really like to do the whole rating thing. I think that's really like shitty and retarded. Like
Okay.
I saw you talking about that too.
Yeah,
Like,
but people say like, yeah. I
No.
was wondering if you're gonna get upset about that, but that's just
oh
my
no,
genuine
not at
belief.
all.
Okay.
I mean, I would have to recall what you said exactly in the clip.
The chat was saying Clav, Mog, SNEAKO, Clav, Mog, and I said,
Yeah, who
then go
cares?
suck his dick, it, then go fuck him. Like, what does that mean? You
Well,
know?
yeah, I mean, it just doesn't really matter. It's like there's a million people who mock me, so it's like, what are we gonna go through each one of them and like say this, like, or do like a rating? It's like I know I have to improve. I'm sure you have to improve. It's like I'm not really gonna base that off of one singular individual. It's like I think it's fine to put yourself in a percentile. Like, hey, I'm around the 80th percentile in terms of looks, and I want to get here. That's fine. But using like these individual examples, like rating your friends, it's not something I have to do.
So what does PSL mean?
It's just like a scoring system based on like the LooksMax forums. Like it's 3 LooksMax forums that.
Okay, is that on Reddit, 4chan, or is he?
No, all forums that got taken down.
Well, how come?
Well, do you know like Elliot Rodger?
He was on there?
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew that guy was there.
Well, so he was a poster on there, and
Yeah, we were talking. You forgot. I talked about Elliot Rodger. I brought him
a
up.
little bit. Yeah, I do remember bringing that up. But no, so he got those forums taken down, or one of them.
Okay, so he was active on there, and then he shot a bunch of girls, and okay.
He actually didn't. He actually shot half of them were guys. So it was kind of just he was just spurring, like he's insane.
So he was lied about.
Yeah, and that's kind of like those types of people really can just ruin a community. Because I like to think of myself as pretty logical about it. I know it's like something I could use as a driving, metric or whatever to improve my life. But when you have guys like doing mass shootings and taking it to that level, it makes me look fucking insane for just realizing that looks matter. Mm-hmm. So it sucks.
Okay, please. This guy keeps spamming Clav. Does the dick pump work?
It does. The dick pump works.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Yeah. When you fill up a vessel with edema, you're stretching out the ligaments.
Wait, I don't get. So what do you pump it up like what is it?
Just you have suction, and you're using air to draw pressure and expand the ligaments and all the tissue. So over time, you're going to get more size.
You can make a lot of money selling these products if you sold it.
Well, they're already all out there, so
okay.
You guys could all get that going.
Okay, they're saying, how do you think I can improve?
I mean, I definitely don't think you should rock the buzz cut.
Grow out the hair?
Yeah, I think
that's what they say every day. So maybe I think they're vindicated.
Yeah.
They shit on the bald look all the time.
But I feel like you also did that to a degree for like, you're making a pivot in your content a little bit, right? Like you're trying to go back to some of your older stuff with like the more cinematic stuff.
That's true. I think I like to have different hairstyles for different eras.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like a totally different thing. And, it doesn't really matter too much. It's more about the face, and but that's a good way to frame your skull.
Should I get the double chin surgery?
No. I always tell people who are influencers, it's like absolutely not. And that's why it's hard for you to kind of conceive a little bit about why I'm so like into this, because you're an influencer. Like you've got a ton of status, you've got a ton of money, so you're able to like do well, and obviously you're already good looking. So there's no like this stuff doesn't really resonate with you because everything is going so good. But imagine if you were just like a normie who's not good looking. You might think about it a little bit differently. So you kind of have to empathize with different perspectives and put yourself into their shoes to figure it out.
So you care about the everyman.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you do actually. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, why not just continue mogging? Why help out other guys?
Well, I like to think of myself as empathetic, and I see how treacherous society can be for the everyday person, and I've been the everyday person, and I never will. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget what that feels like.
Sucks. Average
yeah.
guy. It sucks to be the average guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the worst shit ever.
Like I could absolutely do like the most narcissistic thing now that I have like Instagram followers and I could DM chicks and I look better than I do and like be fine and be like, oh yeah, and sell people a million different copes like Hamza. But I just remember what actually drove me to my success was improving my looks. So
do you have pictures of what you looked like before you started looks maxing?
Yeah, I do. I could.
Can I see?
Yeah, I could pull some up, some transformations. I was someone with horrendous acne was my worst thing.
Did you take Accutane?
Yes, I took
Man,
Accutane.
that changed your hormones too. You're like,
Yeah, I was on a little bit of everything, to be honest, growing up. Test at 14 was like one of the first.
how do you even get testosterone at 14?
I just ordered it on the internet.
Oh,
Yeah.
dark web.
Not exactly. You could just buy it on the ClearNet, but I don't like to talk about like the sourcing too much. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out if I could pull up.
Test at 14.
Well, maybe we could find this in a little bit. It's a little far down my page. But I was just like horrendous acne, severely over.
Doesn't TRT make the acne worse? Doesn't it exacerbate it?
It does exacerbate it, and I didn't really know about pharmacology and what I was doing at all when I first started. So it was kind of just like a slow development of me figuring things out and eventually realizing like what I needed to do to not have horrible acne while I was using anabolic steroids. Because right now I'm just on TRT. It's more of like a lifestyle and like energy thing than like trying to get like a roided up bodybuilder. I just want like a little bit of exercise on.
That's why I wanted to take TRT for that reason. Like I don't want to look like a Miami bodybuilder. Or I just wanted the cognitive increase,
Yeah,
the energy
better
increase,
sleep. Yeah,
all
you-
that. She seems like
you just
when you see
feel
that, you're like,
better.
this is like pretty.
Oh no,
I don't know.
You feel substantially better, but it's a bit of a commitment. Like in terms of you're gonna have to be on steroids if you want to do them properly for forever. But I just think what I always tell people is why wouldn't you want to be on something that's so good and so beneficial to your life forever? It doesn't make sense to me to see it any other way. And what you're fighting against when you're on the endocrine system is these outside forces who are putting plastic contaminants on all the food, all these endocrine disruptors when you touch your receipt at wallpaper. It's like you're not going to be able to beat these environmental factors. It's a losing battle for any man who's on the endocrine system with the testosterone level decline. That it's
Yeah.
like, why would we not just use the tools that are at our disposal? It seems so ridiculous to me. I'm a huge science guy.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so absolutely. And I understand there's like a lot of, skepticism of like mainstream industries, like, because of the mainstream media being so dishonest, that they kind of apply that to science and all that kind of stuff and researchers when it's just really not the case,
People are asking, are you going to be infertile? Do you worry about like having children?
So right now, I am infertile, but I'm not able to have a kid right now. But if I wanted to, there's a protocol I can put in place to be immediately good again.
Wait, why are you infertile right now?
So it's just like a negative feedback loop when you're not needing to produce testosterone anymore because your body realizes, okay, we're getting it from an exogenous
So you're not producing
source.
any testosterone naturally?
No.
None?
No.
Oh,
That's
I'm
how
not
it
taking
works.
TRT, bro.
Well, how do you think it works? You just don't. Your body realizes we're at a certain level we don't need it anymore, so it stops producing it.
So how do you fix that? How do you have kids?
You just take something that signals your brain to restart the production. You stop taking the testosterone, your levels start to diminish. You agonize the receptors, and then your body just starts producing it again.
So have other people done that before?
Yeah, dude. Like the chance of being completely infertile is like 1 in like 100,000.
You should freeze some sperm.
You've got to do that before you make the commitment.
Right, but next time, like, unless you,
Yeah.
you
you could do
during the
that.
next reset.
But dude, like the odds of going permanently infertile are so egregiously low that it's not really
Okay.
necessary.
So everyone's saying it doesn't work like that, but
Well, they're not.
They don't know.
They're not well versed in pharmacology.
Okay.
So that's not how it works at all. And we could look for examples of who's actually going infertile. It's all people who are using trenbolone that has like long.
Yeah. Have you ever taken Tren?
I have. Yeah, I took Tren earlier this year, but all my hair started falling out, and it made me a little crazy. So
What, crazy, like emotional?
no, dude. I mean, I was just like, I was working as a security guard at the time, so just like anger issues and stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know, like
That's a traditionally black job, the security guard.
yeah, definitely, it definitely is. But I lived in like a relatively nice area, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, that kind of.
Wait, what was the craziest thing that happened? Like that you did? Why did you go crazy?
I mean, I just like wanted to. Obviously, like I'm not like an impulsive person, you know what I mean? So, like, it's just like you think you get like more mad about stuff. Like people say mean things to you, like, and you just get more upset than you usually would. So I was like, I don't really need to do this. But it was mainly the hair that was the reason that I stopped doing it.
But it grew back.
Yeah, I grew back using minoxidil, which is another pharmaceutical.
That's also a hormone
No,
changer.
it's not a hormone.
It doesn't change your hormones?
No.
Okay.
It just helps with like blood circulation and stuff like that to your hair follicles, and starting up new growth. So minoxidil is very safe. It's commonly prescribed.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely. People gotta get on.
Finasteride is what changed your hormones.
Yeah, so it's a DHT blocker, but DHT is only a hormone that's necessary for you as a man when you're developing, like when you're going like through early stages of puberty. Once your dick stops growing, there's nothing that DHT is going to do for you. Besides,
So what are the downsides of minoxidil? That
so about 1% of finasteride users have post-finasteride syndrome, where it slightly lowers their libido and gives them like some sexual.
my friend said that happened to him. Like he wouldn't get horny and he couldn't fuck his girlfriend.
But a lot of that is it's all acute. So it's all when you're using the drugs. So if that happens to you, if you're the 1%, then that's only going to be while the drug is active in your system. So it's not that big of a deal really. And what I always tell people is, if you have no hair, you're not going to have anyone to use this fucking libido on, and the odds are so goddamn low. It's a lot of people giving themselves like the nocebo side effects. Just like they read about the potential libido issues and they trick themselves into thinking it, and I'm just like,
No, but it was bad. My friend, it was really bad for him.
Okay.
I don't know. That's a one case thing. Someone keeps in the chat saying, ask about Tomcat Alley, and I do actually have it here. What's
Copliments is what I would call it.
Okay, so you need to take TRT. This is a
Yeah,
bunch
I
of
mean,
bullshit.
like, dude, it's all Copliments. Tonkat Ali, like.
It doesn't do
Chickasaw.
anything?
Yeah, it's.
I take a lot of vitamins. I take magnesium, zinc.
Well, vitamins.
E.
Yeah, I mean, vitamins are a little bit better, but at the end of the day, it's like people are only going to do so much for their looks and their regimen, and it's like, instead of doing all these copes, like just do things that actually are going to make a difference.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you miss your vitamin D pill in the morning, are you going to notice it? Fuck no.
No.
But
If you miss your TRT, you're gonna fucking feel it.
Well, you probably won't feel it, but if you miss a lot of them,
Right.
But what it's actually doing for you, for your body, and for your physique, it's there's different levels to this shit.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to take Adderall when I was like started when I was 11, and my mom found something that changed it. It was like, oh, it's a natural Adderall. It's a natural. It's just like some vitamin, and you take it. You're like, what the fuck is this?
No,
give me
it's
I
not
need
the
my
same.
meth. Give me my meth pills.
No, exactly. So I mean, Adderall for most people is going to be horrible because they're being overdosed. Their receptors are being fried. Like people are only supposed to take Adderall 5 days a week. You're not supposed to take stimulants every day.
Yeah, why is that? To get out of your system?
No, because they stop working. Like you start to downregulate your dopamine receptors to such a high degree that your baseline state is, going to be the same on Adderall, after like 6 months if you're just taking it every day.
The
That's
doctors.
what they don't realize. It's
Yeah.
like you're gonna feel great at first, but then it's just gonna be the same.
And your tolerance builds up. My doctors would tell me to take it all the time because it's like medication.
Ridiculous.
But I'm like, this is a drug. I was 11. Like, no, this is getting me high. It's a drug. I shouldn't be taking it when I'm playing soccer.
Yeah, then it's gonna just stop working, and now you're just dependent on a drug. You try to taper off of it, and then you're basically like bedridden all day. So when I talk about like the math and like the Adderall stuff, it's like I'm able to use it because like I'm strong-willed, but I understand that probably most of my audience isn't going to be.
No, yeah, the majority of people, same thing. Like, they can't gamble without becoming addicted. They can't drink without being retarded.
Exactly. That's why just like it's almost unfair to me that the viewers are retarded, because it's like I'm trying to put you on some game here, guys, but your willpower is just like less than that of a woman. So it's like now I'm potentially fucking people over.
No, that's actually factual. Like,
like the information that I'm providing, like in a therapeutic context, like doctors are prescribing disoxin, which is meth, to a decent amount of people, right? It has its benefits and it's got its use cases, but when you take things out of context and most people are going to just start doing random amounts of street meth, that's kind of where things get lost in translation, and everything starts to go wrong.
Yeah, you can't. They're saying, is your phone vibrating?
Yeah, I gotta fucking turn this off.
Oh,
My bad.
I didn't even hear that, Shay.
Yeah, so anyway, like it's really just like a nuanced thing. Like with pharmacology, it's so hard for me to like confidently advocate for certain things because I know people are just going to be retarded. They're not going to do their due diligence in terms of researching and fuck themselves over. But if you are doing things with, you know, the proper protocols and you actually take the time to do your own research, you really can have a lot of benefit in your life. 2025, the science is there, but you know, it's certainly not to say that the average person is capable of figuring all this out on their own.
They're asking how much do you know so much about science?
Well, dude, because I was a Terra incel throughout all of high school, just rotting on my computer, you know, researching.
When did you stop being incel?
I would say about like this year, or yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was always just like in terms of like looks, but like I was still able to like get girls before then. Like when I was ascended and overweight and still acne ridden, like I was still doing fine. Like I had game, like I knew how to talk to girls. Like it was no problem for me. But like I didn't start really improving my looks to a high degree where I was able to turn it into like a social media thing. Until about this year.
But you were, incel is a strong word. Like when were you straight up incel?
When I was like 14 and 15.
Okay.
Then like I started like, you know, being able to actually like get with, you know, chicks here and there when I was 16 was when it started up a little bit. I wasn't as bad, but it was like a slow progression over the years of ascension. But I would say it's like kind of starting to click into place more now, you know, like because I didn't get really lean until like recently. Till like maybe 6 months ago, so I've never experienced like how I'd look with that. Like I was always doing like the stupid dirty bulks in the gym, you know, and caring about my physique more, like the meathead bodybuilding stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then
a gallon of milk a day.
Yeah, dude, awful. That
You ever do starting strength, the Mark Ripito?
No.
This Reddit shit that I fell for.
Yeah, no. All the bulking stuff is so ridiculous, man. You know, people prioritizing the gym over their face seems outrageous.
They're asking about workout routines. What do you think is a good way to start?
I think the best way to start in the gym is just going in there and just doing random shit. Because if you give people like this,
too much to do, they're gonna.
Yeah. If you give them like a PDF protocol and like you tell them like all this stuff about dieting. And you expect
it's gonna
them,
overwhelm them.
Yeah, if you expect them to be as dedicated as you right off the bat, you're gonna really just start to alienate them. So you need to let people just slowly progress.
Just work out till they're tired.
And figuring things out on their own. Like you really shouldn't go in there with a plan. You should just slowly start to like pick things up. Because you work out, and I think you should work out in a commercial gym. Just watch what other people are doing. If you do something ridiculous, you're gonna know because people are gonna be like looking at you like, what the fuck? The gym community is also. It's very toxic on the internet, but it's very wholesome in person. A lot of people offer you advice. Just you could just ask, and you'll pick things up. Don't take yourself too serious at first, because the difference as a natural lifter, first using the perfect protocol and just doing retarded shit, like it's really not going to do much in terms of gains in like a short time frame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what I tell people. Just figuring out on your own.
They keep talking about what is retard dick. What is that?
Retard dick?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not.
I don't know what that is.
I've never heard of that before.
Okay.
That's not.
I'm trying to learn about and someone keeps asking about your SAT scores, but you don't really. I'd say a better question is like, what's your goal with looks maxing? When have you looks maxed?
So it's kind of just like an ever evolving thing. Like I don't really. That's why it's called like looks maxing. It's a progression. You know, being looks maxed is never really going to happen because it's also something you would have to maintain even if you are looks maxed. Staying lean, continuing to work out. So it's more of just like a self improvement as like a constant thing in your life. So I don't really like think in terms of like when am I going to be done with this. I think after I'm finished with my surgery, that'll certainly be like a huge step closer to being done. And
Who do you know anybody who actually got that surgery?
I do. I know a good amount of people, but
Can you tell me? I wanna
you won't
see.
be able to pull up their pictures on the internet. No.
Because they're private about it.
Yeah, I'm like the first.
You're just open. You're just an open book.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm like,
you gotta respect that.
Yeah, I'm the first guy who's gonna like be posting his results because think about it. If you're a normal guy and you get plastic surgery, that's a huge failure. Like in terms of how people are gonna perceive you, they're gonna be like, you got surgery, like you're a fucking weirdo. But I'm just obviously trying to be like document the entire thing, show what it can do for people's life. So sure, well I get like a kind of a ding and kind of a chip on my shoulder because I have surgery. Like when it comes to girls. when it comes to how people perceive me.
Yeah.
But like it's just something I'm doing.
You know, I kind of respect it. Is like I don't even think that you think that you need it. I think you're doing it just for the content. I think you're getting a face altering surgery just to show people what it's like. Like I don't.
Dude, to be fair, like sometimes I have that thought. I'm like, do I really fucking need to do this? But I always think back to like, you know, my initial like reasonings, and I always come back to the conclusion that this is a good idea, right? I see it as an investment of like, you know, $35,000 or whatever. But what is that going to do for me? You know, if I'm that much better looking in terms of percentiles, we look at what's happening to like a lot of the models, like. Look at a guy like Jeremy Meeks, right? He, you know, commits a felony, like beats up his girlfriend, and he has women bail him out of prison on Facebook, and he gets $1 million modeling contract overnight. So that's what happens to you. That's what happens to your life when you get to that like 99.9 percentile, like crazy looks. Like sure, if you're 90th percentile, you know, you're really not that rare where that's going to happen, but your life's going to go good. Well, why would I not want to just do this one thing to have it be like that level? That seems like a very like logical, you know, thing to do.
Do you respect Ziz?
I do respect Ziz.
What was Ziz on?
Ziz was on a ton of different steroids. He ran a bunch of cycles. You know, it's all on the internet archives. I don't exactly recall, but he was using like a lot of DECA. He was using, you know, mostly Test and DECA was like his you know, bread and butter.
Yeah.
But he, you know,
was he on meth or Adderall or anything?
Oh yeah, he was on. He's coked out all the time for sure. That's the thing about coke is, you know, we actually look at like the mortality rates of cocaine versus methamphetamine, and you would just be in disbelief how much.
Cocaine's way more than meth.
Yes, it's so dangerous because you're blocking your sodium channel, right? Which means your heart's not going to be able to properly function. You could actually have like, you know, acute heart arrhythmias, whereas methamphetamine is just going to be like cardiotoxic over time if you're using it in retard dosages. But like with coke, you could just die like instantly.
Really?
Yeah, like you could just do coke for the first time, be perfectly healthy, you have heart arrhythmia and heart attack and die.
But it's more of a fun drug. Like coke is like, all right, cool, hey, going out, a couple drinks, blah, blah, blah. Meth is like, take over the, like third right, it's like blitzkrieg.
It is, yeah, that's why, you know, Hitler was jacking up all his dudes on meth.
Yeah,
you know?
is that, where's the proof of that? I've heard that a lot, but I don't know what the proof. I hear Joe Rogan always say this.
So I forget the exact like brand name of the pharmaceutical, but it was like someone in the chat maybe could say, but it was like a methamphetamine derivative, like a very strong, like long-acting stimulant. That they were giving out to it was something with a P, I believe. Yeah. So they were giving that out to all the soldiers. And there's a lot of documentation of, you know, the pharmaceutical aspect of it. Where did you have trouble finding information about that?
No, I just hear like it just sounds like something Joe Rogan says, but I've looked and I've never found any information about that.
Yeah, I mean,
he never wrote about it in my conference, said it in a speech or anything.
Yeah, I mean, because they were trying to be secret.
Yeah, they would never say that stuff. But a lot of the Nazi science stuff is a little hard to decipher what's real or what's not.
I think so too. Like a lot of the documents are weird. Like you see shit about, you know, UFOs and like a lot of like schizo, like, you know, clearly made up propaganda. That they inserted, but no, that was legitimate. How do you think they were just doing like the blitzkriegs, like with the 3-day advances, you know, with
no, and he was definitely like you see the way his hands were shaking, like that is.
Yeah, I mean, so if you want to do the war style that he was doing, you need these guys on long-acting stims. They weren't sleeping, they weren't eating, so it was like the perfect, like, you know, God soldier drug, you know, that they were giving out. So I get it. Cocaine is like just a short, like 30-minute half-life. You have fun, you're just doing it with your friends. So this is like a little bit different, but, you know, coke is like really, really bad in terms of its health profile. You know, you see guys like Dan Bilzerian like having heart attacks all the time.
He's a friend of mine. He doesn't have heart attacks.
Yeah, I think he had 2 or 3.
I've never heard about that. I know he's on TRT. He's open about that too.
Yeah, no. So when you have like all these different you know, mechanisms in place of cardiotoxicity, you really shouldn't be exacerbating them, like with the high blood pressure.
I didn't think he's a coke guy. I know he's like does shrooms and stuff.
Maybe he's not open about it, but you know, that's clearly why. You know.
I never heard about the heart attack thing.
Yeah, no. So coke is horrible for you. Very taxing. When Ziz is doing all these roids and then the excess.
That's to balance it.
Excess toxicity. He can't be doing party drugs. It's like one or the other, really.
What do you think about the sauna?
The sauna, I think it's good, but it's just like, you know, with how much time you have in a day, is it something that you should actually like dedicate yourself to?
It's not that like 20 minutes in the sauna.
Yeah, but you know, can you have those 20 minutes be better spent to like a looks maxing, you know, pharmaceutical protocol? Probably. I just don't think like, you know, it's necessarily fair to think about these things so like narrow-minded where it's just like, oh, like the sauna's good, like it has this benefit. But it's like, yeah, but is that really worth like the time investment? Like, and then we start stacking up all these different things. Now you've got like a 4-hour routine that is really not doing much for you. It's like, yeah, just use the sauna when you're hungover. It's like there's no reason to have like a full protocol out of it.
I go to the sauna pretty much every single day.
Yeah.
I love it. It's addicting. I mean, I'm not saying it as a substitute for TRT or meth or something. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I get it. But that's just my point. It's like,
because you seem to have done a lot of research on science. Like, what are the actual benefits? It's hard to hear. That's another like Joe Rogan thing.
It lowers your cortisol. It's got some cardiovascular benefits. So it does have benefits. That's literally just the way that I think about it. It's like, okay, now I have to shower after a sauna, and now I have to do all this. It's just like a return on time investment thing for me.
Okay.
I just don't see it as worth it.
So you don't go in the sauna?
No, I don't go in the sauna. But I'm not against it, you know. If you got the time to be in the sauna, fuck it. There's really no downside.
So what do you do for recovery? You don't do cold plunge? Or?
I do antioxidants.
What is that?
Something called glutathione. So glutathione is a antioxidant your body already produces. But I'm just using exogenous sources to have like, you know, a lot of it. Like, you know, like the IVs and stuff, like NAD, glutathione.
Yeah.
Like Aiden's big on that, but I'm just doing it myself because the nurses like were doing the intravenous.
They don't put the right doses and stuff?
Yeah, they're underdosing it. They're overcharging.
I was paying a lot for NAD and vitamin drip. They would pay like $400 for it, and I felt nothing.
Exactly, yeah, because it's underdosed. It's not what you need, and they're just ripping you off. But NAD is like phenomenal at regeneration.
So NAD does work?
Dude, yeah, NAD is great. Like it's one of the best things. Like you will feel so much better acutely if you're using properly dosed like real NAD, not just like the Cope underdosed like IV drips. That stuff. So and glutathione too. You know, but both like amazing for regeneration. Like you go out for a crazy night of drinking, like I did on the jet. I got home, pinned all my glutathione, and I was good to go.
No hangover.
Yeah, no hangover. Yep. So you know that's
glutathione. Oh, you just inject it yourself?
Yeah, I inject it.
Where do you put in your thigh or?
Yeah, so I'll do some things into my quads and some things into my glutes. Just anything intramuscular.
Okay.
So it's really not that bad. It sounds like overwhelming to the first person to like, you know, put a needle inside yourself for the first time, but like we're talking about a small prick. You know, you've been injected with 1 million flu shots. Why not something beneficial to you that allows you to not be hungover? So just like what you're getting out of able to just like get over the fear of injection is so much. You know, you're just gonna take your life a long way compared to what you could do naturally.
What does so meth? What is the best way to counteract that? For me, because first off, what's the difference between meth and Adderall?
The difference between meth and Adderall is so what Adderall actually is. It's a blend of 2 different amphetamines, dextroamphetamine and levoamphetamine. Dextroamphetamine is the 75% of it, and levo is the 25%. Think of dex as the mental like dopamine release part of it. So that's like the main majority. That's why it's good. But the levo is a physical stimulant. That's why like sometimes you take Adderall, like you want to do your laundry, all this shit. Like you're at your desk, you want to start organizing. That's what that is. Whereas the dex is really good. It allows you to have mental clarity, really focus on tasks.
Yeah. When I take Adderall, I would be ready to edit, and then I would go to my bathroom and start plucking my hairs and shit.
Exactly right. So that's a problem, and that's not good. That's why Adderall, people are taking it to play soccer, like you said. That's not what I was looking for. I'm looking for the pure mental dopamine release. With a longer half.
Explaining. So why does levo make you want to do random tasks?
Well, it's a physical stimulant, so it's a CNS stim, whereas dex is just with a dopamine release. So it's
so it stimulates your
central nervous system.
Okay, and meth does not stimulate that.
No,
just the dopamine.
Yes.
Does it release a lot more dopamine?
Well, it's dose dependent, so it's a lot stronger, but not necessarily.
Okay.
So it's just a little bit different, like in terms of the mechanisms in place. So Adderall would be really good if it was just 100% dextroamphetamine, and that's a drug called Zinzetti. That's a pharmaceutical, but it's just a lot harder to get prescribed. But I would go with Zinzetti over anything. Zinzetti is amazing. Just you can't find a psychiatrist who's going to give you Zinzetti because they have deals where they're getting back-end commission to prescribe Adderall to 14-year-olds. So it's all a huge corrupt industry. The whole thing's a joke. It's not based on science. It's just based on pharmaceutical kickbacks. So that's why you just sometimes matters need to be taken into their own hands.
We were talking about meth.
Yeah, but anyway, so the reason that I'm not the reason that people are getting screwed with Adderall is obviously the pharmaceutical companies are giving kickback to the doctors writing the scripts for a subpar drug versus the pure 100% Zinzetti dexamphetamine. So if that was just the commonly prescribed thing, if doctors actually followed science and actually gave people the drugs that were good for them, then we would have a totally different story where methamphetamine might not be necessary at all. But they're just not giving that out, and that's not something that you could really track down a prescription for. So that's why meth is being discussed right now.
They're all saying good boy, good boy. It's just because Party was broken.
Dude, he tried to stream on Party and the fucking site is down, so I don't know what.
Maybe that's but Jack was on Party earlier, right?
Yeah, but like hours ago.
Okay, they're funny.
Yeah, bow down. Yeah, dude, that's crazy that people were saying, oh, Clav got the call, like when I decided to leave Jack Doherty's stream. It's like, dude, he was just being a fucking dick. Like, you guys would have probably wanted to strangle him, if he was talking to you the way he was talking to me. So, I was just very respectful about it. Like, I didn't fucking freak out, or I really didn't even care. I was just like, I'm just not gonna sit here, just be disrespected on a yacht for 4 hours. Like, that's something I had no interest in.
So what else do you have lined up now? I first heard about you from that Nick Fuentes stream. I didn't.
Yeah, dude, Nick is really cool. Nick, the Tucker Carlson thing was
super dope,
insane. Yeah,
I got to give him credit. He's siding with me on this Matt Walsh beef. Well, I mean,
that's good.
No, I wouldn't really describe it as siding, but he's definitely, somewhat.
Yeah.
Because I challenged Matt to a debate. Basically, I'll break it down. I did want to show you about this earlier. Mm-hmm. All right, so Matt Walsh said, it's over here. He was saying...
Let's see the reason. I'm always curious the reasoning on why they turn down streams, and it's always just so ridiculous.
Well, so first he said, he's blaming Mamdani and saying blah, 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 he's shitting on Mamdani. And I said, no, Mamdani won because he refused to sell it to Israel, something you have yet to do. Everybody knows it, and the more you blatantly avoid it, the more people distrust a so-called patriot like you. Where does your allegiance lie, Matt? Mm-hmm. Because overall, I am more disgusted by white people who are selling out their own people than by good-intentioned libtards.
Yeah, I mean, like the, blissful ignorance, like you really can't get away with it as a political commentator, right? Because if you're not able to speak on issues and you're just so carefully tiptoeing around things, it does seem outrageous. Because he doesn't directly always overly shill Israel as much as obviously Ben does,
yeah.
But when you're not going to really call things out in the middle of a war and be really firm on one side,
you're picking a side.
Yeah, and it like you said, it would almost be more admirable if he was just all in for Israel, because it's you're telling people your opinion even if you're alienating one side. But it's outrageous that he's just trying to be a political commentator and not really go in on Israel.
Yeah, and then he said, my allegiance certainly doesn't lie with third world Islamic communists and their brain dead simps like you.
Yeah. Islamic communists.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were calling me a Nazi earlier this year, and now I'm a communist.
It's just a random buzzword, almost spin the wheel type thing. It's just throwing darts at a board. That's why, buzzwords, they don't work anymore. That's why I think, me and Nick could get away with a lot of what we get away with. Because someone says, oh, Nick is racist. What does that even mean anymore? It's kind of just a ridiculous.
Just a word.
Yeah, it's just a word. So when they do that and they call people Islamic communists, it's dude, what? What have we been talking about here?
I really like Nick's tweet from today where he said the boomer generation gave us a fucked world. And now they're trying to tone, after ruining the world, the economy, now they want to tone police us and get mad at us for making edgy jokes about, Hitler or whatever.
Yeah.
It's fuck you, you ruined us, and now all we have left is video games.
Yep.
And edgy jokes, and you're gonna take this away too?
Well, that's why they're really out of touch and losing everyone on the Israel issue. We look at the support for Israel from the Zoomer generation; it's at an all-time low, and it's because just the poor optics from the Boomer generation. They don't really know how to properly handle things. It's so obvious, all the shills, so that they're really fucking things up.
So you're a 19-year-old white man.
Yep.
What do you think of Matt Walsh, and where is the future of this country going? Because the energy is with guys like you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Matt Walsh is clearly just a shill. He's clearly, the Shabbos goy, whatever you want to say. And I think it's really ridiculous to like avoid the debates with like the alternative platform streamers because they think like, oh, like I'm a media personality, like, and I have a network. I don't need to debate this kick streamer.
Yeah.
But this is who Zoomers are watching. Like,
Right.
you know, they don't understand this is like the main thing now.
And also, if you're going to play the elitist thing, like, oh, I work for mainstream media, which is really just Ben Shapiro's company,
Yeah,
you
who
fucking
gives a
sell
fuck?
out, then stop tweeting at me, you know?
Yeah.
He's writing paragraphs all the time saying, like,
Rage baited him.
you would happily sell the whole country down the river and embrace the destruction of our culture and identity by anti-American barbarians, so long as the barbarians also hate Israel. I would say you're an insidious phony, but I think you're too retarded to be as insidious as you seem.
Yeah,
the
and
point
they sneak in the retard. Like, look, guys, I'm cool. I'm based.
using the base word.
Yeah.
And also, if he's so angry and he thinks I'm stupid, then you should be able to crush me in a debate. That's
Absolutely.
what I thought. And so I just
Yeah.
said, I'll happily debate you then. Tell me the time and place your boss approves of with the shocking dog.
That's funny. Yeah.
And it got the ratio. And then I waited 2 days. He didn't respond. So I said, good boy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, because
Good
he
boy.
obviously has his people, his producers say, hey, this isn't a good idea. You know,
Yeah.
SNEAKO might be able to, because when you get someone on like open air, you know, things could really take a turn any direction. Like you force them into positions, you force him into taking sides. Whereas when he's just got this like well scripted TV show with a bunch of like people in black suits behind the camera, you know, things are a little different. You know.
And the thing is, that's why they're so angry too, is that I don't have any sponsors. I have
Yeah,
no
me
backers.
neither.
I have no company. And all the future, everyone's going to listen to people that don't have, you know, special interest paying
Yep.
for them, like
Yep.
who are just connected to the viewers. I have nobody in my ear telling me what to do. He
Yep.
does.
Well, besides we both have Aiden Ross. But
No, I'm not in it. You're the new SSP. They traded out Combi for you.
I'm just kidding. Did they? I don't know. No, but that was so stupid that they were like, Aiden called you. It's like, bro, like he was just. So,
That was Kick Champ. He's in the chat right now. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Fuck you guys for that.
And then then I responded on stream. I'm just going to give you the rest of the breakdown. I don't want to bore you too much.
No, I find it really interesting. I don't talk about politics much, so it's always refreshing.
Yeah, I mean,
when
you're well versed, like the way you speak on it. Then he said, "Wow, this it basically keeps running. Why would I debate Israel's influence on American politics? I don't think any foreign government should have any influence over our country." And this is the cope, and I want people to see that clever little language he just did.
Yep.
I don't want any country, any foreign government to have influence over our country. Hey, the thing
Yep.
is, only one does.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like Qatar. They say Qatari funded or Russia funded. Like all that's a lie. It's Israel. It's APAC is the
Yeah,
biggest
I was gonna
lobby.
say it's not like fucking Zimbabwe is having the same donations as APAC. Like, what are we talking about here? So to make that generalization and kind of just loop Israel in as just like another like country like with foreign interest,
Right.
It's like, dude, it is not the same at all.
And then he says he wants me to defend a position I don't even hold because he's too chicken shit to debate the areas where we actually disagree, such as his love of communism, his romanticization of third world dumps, and the fact that he's an apostate traitor to the Christian faith who's so desperate for attention and clout that he switched to Islam for clicks.
Mm-hmm.
If I switched to Islam for clout and clicks, that would be the dumbest decision because like then I can't take the gambling deals, I can't stream with a lot of OnlyFans girls. So many principles of Islam prevent you from doing what makes you all the money and content.
Yeah. I don't really think it's necessarily the worst thing that you could do in terms of content creation. Like, I do disagree with you there, but I agree with your intentions. I think, like, you could have probably done better without being, Muslim. Like, the gambling shit is crazy. So to miss out on that, yeah.
Yeah, no, but for people to insinuate that like you did it for clout and clicks, like
that's ridiculous.
Netanyahu last month said he's going to pour millions of dollars into propaganda and give influencers $7K to be pro-Israel. Everyone saw that and they said that this is stupid. A month passed and everybody fell for it, right? That propaganda machine is going against people like me. That's the Iraq War. They needed to get the justification of the American people. They needed so all they did was shit on Muslims. We grew up thinking, I don't know about you, you're younger than me, but we grew up thinking Muslims were terrorists.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh wait, they didn't even have WMDs.
Yeah, I mean, they did the propaganda well. Like, they did a good job with that. And just like the way I view the world is, I don't sit here and just like complain necessarily about Israel. I almost find them like to be kind of like an admirable, nation state. Whereas, like, say all what the red pill people are saying is true. Say they're dominating politics. Say that they are influencing all the media to such a high degree. It's like, that's almost something that's like, dude, I'm kind of admiring Jews for if they're, doing all this shit. So that's how I think about it. I don't really, sit here and say, oh, we need to fix this. We need to do this, that, and that. Just like, I want to figure out how people are this successful as a, ethnicity. You don't think that world is like,
a lot of white people complain and bitch. I think Matt Walsh is like the biggest problem for white people.
Yeah.
I think guys like him, he starts his show every day and talks about like he's appealing to white people who are angry that the population is declining, and he's like, this sucks, and transgenders, and everyone's like, fuck yeah. Okay, but address the problem.
Yeah.
Right? Why is this happening? And then how do you fix it? Instead of just getting there and being angry all day, I want to see somebody with the solution.
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole transgender thing and like all that, like, and saying retard, he's just like saying what's like, slightly maybe pushing.
What was edgy in 22?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like people like Nick are paving the way for just like being able to say basically anything and still have access to like some mainstream platforms. So people just like follow his Overton window, because I really do think to a high degree that he controls like the Overton window.
Who, Nick?
As an individual, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, he was the last, like, he was the litmus test.
Yeah.
Are you going to disavow, or are you going to platform him?
Yeah, and when he makes, it's so funny, people hop on like these different bandwagons, like Candace Owens will start talking about Israel after Nick does all the work, like to make it safe and acceptable. It's super inauthentic, super disingenuous, and I don't like that they get the credit for being based and taking the position, when it's like, dude, you only did it because Nick made it acceptable and allowed you to get away with it.
Yeah, I really appreciate him taking my side in these two, with Matt Walsh and also with Elon Musk last week on stream. What are your ideas about white nationalism and okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to try to ruin your career.
No.
I don't want to ruin your career.
I could say this in a very optical way, because I actually have an answer that I think would surprise you. Like in terms of all race issues, like I'm a huge like individualist. And to talk about like white issues and white identity, it's like that loops me into a category of people who are, a lot of the times jesters and like I don't really want to have to walk around the street every day and see like, some guy who's like ugly, fat, and obese, and like feel some type of attachment to him because we're both white. Like that seems pretty ridiculous to me. So I'm super individualist. Like I really just care about like, all these different social metrics, like, wealth, looks percentiles, and like, sure, race might play into looks to a high degree and play into income. Like we make, correlations and draw comparisons, but at the end of the day, I'm not looping myself into a group and feeling attachment to anyone just based on, things
Would you date
out of my control.
Out of your race?
No, I don't think so. I don't, definitely not.
No, why not?
It just, there's really not a lot of commonality between, me and people and women outside my race. I don't
find like Latinas attractive? A lot of white guys like Asian girls.
Yeah, it's like, it's not really necessarily about attraction, because to actually date, it's a little bit different of a question. Like, would you have sex with a girl of a different race versus like, would you date? Because that's like where it starts to become more about like, cultures and like how you grew up and like finding some sort of relatability. Versus like actual initial attraction. So no, I wouldn't date outside my race. It's just like what do I have in common? Like I wouldn't be able to find that.
Yeah, but how much do you really need to have in common with somebody you date?
A lot.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, beyond.
I think it's more about how you guys get along rather than what you have in common.
Well, maybe on like a superficial like initial level, but if you actually want to spend your life with someone, it's got to be more than like we get along. Like she's nice to me,
If as long as you guys can mesh together, isn't that what's most important?
Yeah, but like to actually be able to do that, I think people underestimate what's required to have like a long-lasting relationship. Like I see, you and Nick sometimes talk about like how, and Andrew Tate talk about what they want in their wife. Like, oh, I just want like a stupid whore who's just gonna like shut the fuck up and do this, and this. It's like, yeah, you can have that, but is that really gonna like work? Like there is to a degree, and I don't know if people want to admit to this or not. Like you've got to have something there, like some sort of like connection.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, the relationships that work for me are like, I like intelligent women. I do, and I think for a while I don't think that mattered.
Well, maybe I wouldn't go that far.
Wait, but isn't that a commonality? You're an intelligent guy.
Yeah, but
so you do want a stupid whore?
No. I don't want that. But the problem is, women just don't really understand the world in like a sufficient way for the intelligence to really like
matter.
Yeah, exactly. So like I don't really think that like a woman with a high IQ is the same as a man with a high IQ, because
Maybe emotional intelligence was more important. Like I like
Yeah,
women.
exactly.
You know
I would
when
say
women
that.
can sniff out if a guy's fake right away.
Yeah.
Better than you.
Uh-huh.
That's what I really value in women. It's like their ability to sense bullshit, or like,
Right.
It's something of like, you know how they can smell pheromones. Like if you just jacked off, then they can smell that your testosterone is depleted, that you just made it.
Well, they won't be able to make that like identification, but they'll be able to tell something's different, but they won't be
They
able to.
sniff it off like innately. It's not.
It'll just like lessen your attraction, but they won't be able to know like, oh, this guy just jerked off, you know.
No, but it's not like
just
they
will detriment you.
I'm not saying that they know immediately, oh, this guy just jerked off, but like they're instantly repelled by guys who just
Yeah, it'll make your pheromone. It'll make you like less attractive. Yeah, but they won't know why. So yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So the emotional intelligence thing, I think that's the perfect way to put it. I'm glad you identified that. But no, like intelligent women, like yeah, you don't want to be sitting there like talking about the world with women, because the world for women and the world for men is so vastly different. And I think that's like pretty much the main difference in terms of groups of people these days is men and women, not necessarily like black people, white people. Like men and women today are so like what is happening in the world with the dating market. It's so outrageous, and the schism that's happening with like hypergamy. I don't know if you're too familiar with what
hypergamy. Yeah, the top 20% of guys get to date all the women.
Right, yeah. So with how bad things are with like the sexual revolution, there's never been like less relatability between the genders, So that's why it doesn't really make any sense to.
Which is kind of ironic because they tried to make us equal.
Exactly, no. So they did the exact opposite, and it's very obvious that they've actually made women have things easier than men.
How much time do you invest into dealing with women?
Not really much. I mean, I don't really think that if you're able to like give a number, it's probably too much, and the time that you're investing isn't going into anything. Like I spend time with women, but
I thought I was asking that. I'm wondering if you're one of the guys who think like it's a waste of time to talk to women too much. It's gonna be a detriment. They're gonna yap and all this stuff. You don't believe that?
No, I don't believe that. Okay. I mean, a detriment to what? Like a detriment to your social media career? Like
to your mission, yeah.
Maybe to your social media career, but that's not the full picture, right? Like that's not going to be your only form of fulfillment. That's not going to make you a complete person. So yeah, it might take one stat down, but it's going to max you out in another one, and I think that's probably going to be a net positive for people's life if it's the right person. Sure, if you're dating girls in Miami, that's going to be a horrible waste of time. That's going to be super negative on your life. But if it's a person that you actually like and you're connecting with in a meaningful relationship, that's not just like we're nice to each other and you spend time at each other's houses. Yeah, it's gonna help your life a lot. It'll give you a different mental state that might actually wind up helping you in that.
What do you think about black people?
I don't really think anything about black people. I think that the whole race thing is a little bit overdone by the right-wing community.
They talk about it too much?
Yeah, it's really not like the main issue. It's not really like the main men's issue at all. I think people are really thinking about the wrong things a lot of the time. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Okay. No, because earlier you were just saying that you like using slurs. Like it's fun to. Like that's what you like about Kick.
Yeah. So I just like being able to be unrestricted in my speech is like a big important thing to me. But I'm not like someone who's racist whatsoever. So it's really just about that freedom. Like I don't care about race. It's not something I sit here and like think about as much as some of the political commentators. If you're black, if you're white, it's like the things that you have to do as a man are going to be the same. So it really isn't a concern of mine. It's just I need my freedom to be able to say the N-word and stuff. And I don't really think it has to have like a racial
component.
Yeah, component.
It's just being free.
Exactly. Yeah, man. It's funny. It's
you're
like,
a wang half.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly the way to put it.
What about eugenics? Would you try to deliberately have a maxed out stats?
Yes.
Baby?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, why wouldn't you, right?
So how does that work?
Well, that's just like looking for women with like certain physical traits, like who are tall, who have like wide, clavicles, who have certain like waist to hip ratios. So it's just like a lot of like autistic like number stuff that, once you become well versed in, you start to just like identify, like certain health indicators. You're like, okay, well this girl will create like a good physical beast of a kid with me, And to a degree, most people know what those are, but they can't articulate them. They just like know subconsciously. I'm just someone who is able to articulate them.
Right.
So that's where like all that comes in. So I think it's important to know like why people are attractive though, like with the facial golden ratios and stuff.
What do you think about wiggers?
The worst. Literally the worst. Like when I see people, using ebonics and doing like the thug, shit, what the fuck are you doing? That's clearly not your culture. That's clearly not something you should be doing whatsoever. I really hate people with improper grammar, people with bad speaking abilities. It's not my thing at all.
It is refreshing to see a white guy, you're 19?
Yes.
Be a white guy.
Yeah.
Because every white dude now is trying to be Netspend. And they all dress like a thug and they try to be Cardi and they talk like that.
Yeah.
It's just the war. It repulses me.
Yeah, it's the culture nowadays is horrible because it's like the streetwear stuff. It's like people wearing like fucking chrome hearts and shit. Yeah, it's like you said, it's a lot of the influencers to blame for that whole wave. So maybe I could put things back together. You see how Nick wears like a suit every stream and it's like classy. It's admirable, So it's like just be.
But sometimes he has some Nick clothes. You put on like the Yay merch, like Bully, or like the hoodie and the boots. So
Yeah,
I don't know if you can call that like black clothes, but it's hip hop leaning.
I think it's more of just like an admiration for Ye.
That's true. That's true.
So that's what I would say. I really hate the streetwear fashion stuff, man. It seems like low class to me. I think you should try to present yourself as a man in the most high class context possible. And it's really not that difficult to do so, because you actually wind up spending more money, like buying some of these designer streetwear things than you could if you're just wearing like normal clothes.
Well, that's the thing with like left-wing ideology is it made people think it's cool to be a broke, dumb, gangster, thug retard. Like everything, presenting yourself professionally and speaking eloquently, all that became uncool and it became part of the system that controls everything.
Yeah.
And so people, to reject that, they end up becoming wiggers.
Yeah, no, a lot of people are becoming like that. It's horrible. I don't know why they do it. Well, actually, I do know why. It's the rap, it's the influencers. But also at the same time, how are you not more like, strong-minded to not base yourself off of, retards you see doing live streams, like who are essentially just gestures for your amusement. Like when you're watching like gambling or like, retardation streams and they're talking a certain way, wearing clothes. And then you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that too. That kind of calls into question your character a little bit, because I like to listen to rap songs. I like to listen to Lil Baby, but do you see me talking like Lil Baby? Absolutely not.
Little Baby.
Yeah, Little Baby. There you go. Just trying to respect his pronunciation.
His moniker.
Yeah, respect his
Little
moniker.
Baby.
Yeah, Little Baby. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you really shouldn't be copying people you see on the internet.
Right.
So yeah, man, just try to present yourself in a high class light. It'll go a long way in terms of first interactions with people. Like the first thing that Aiden said to me when he did the stream was like, he was like a real man. Like he came up, shake my hand, and like that subtle stuff. It's like it's not difficult to do. It's not difficult to make a habit of, but it goes such a long way because I guarantee most people who meet Aiden probably just like did something retarded, like maybe like give him a fist bump and said like, yo, what up, N? Or whatever the fuck, what I'm saying? So it's like if you could just...
You could say it here, I'm not gonna...
Yeah, alright, but now I gotta like have a time to work it in. So, just these little things, it really puts you so far ahead of the average person because the average person has been led so astray.
Absolutely. What was your overall perception of brand risk and SSP? Because I do forget that you're not in this world,
No, not at all.
Like your friends that were on the Nick stream, who were those guys?
Those were just my roommates.
Oh, really?
Those were people that I met on looksmax.org.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like people I met over the internet. So we all live together. I still live with them.
Okay.
So yeah, they're great. Very similar to me. So that's why it kind of all worked out. We just all came from like the same community. So very like-minded. Meeting up with Aiden and SSB is nothing like, I didn't expect anything otherwise. I think I got along with all you guys very well. You guys don't really do anything fake for the camera. And that's the thing about like uncensored streaming is like you don't get caught off guard by people. You know, like you go into pretty much everything with similar expectations. So I think if you like people's content, you'll probably get along with them well. You know, if they're like an uncensored live streamer.
Yeah, see, I don't like that reaction. There's some people are calling it gay, but it's like when you meet people through the like most of my friends I met through the internet nowadays. Like a lot of
yeah, exactly.
You know, like I met Steezy through the internet, through YouTube, and it's like
right.
Just because we didn't go on a specific website, it's like like Aiden, pretty much everybody that I speak to on a regular basis was through the internet. So
and I'm such like a different thinker. How do you expect me to find people? Just based on like my immediate,
it's super autistic. Like I'm not trying to be insulting, but like what the stuff you're interested in is
right.
extremely niche and like.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm obviously neurodivergent. Yeah, it's not like something I think is necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, no, there's no way you're going to be able to find friends like that you actually get along with.
Right.
Unless it's through like niche internet communities. And I don't think it's a problem at all to make friends through the internet. How the hell are most people meeting girls nowadays? It's through online dating apps.
Man.
Which isn't,
I hate online dating apps.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I know.
I'm not a fan at all.
I don't use them. Like most of the girls that I spend time with now, it's all through the IRL meeting. I like having that first interaction. The first impression is so important with people.
Yeah,
it sets the tone for the relationship.
Right.
I dated a girl that I met on Tinder, and it's like it was always going to be like a low class, fuck buddy type thing.
Yeah, it's not going to.
And then I met a girl at a wedding one time, and that one went great.
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, exactly. But it's just really hard because how do you know at the same time, like you meet a girl on maybe a non-primitive environment? How do you know she's not just all the same on Tinder? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it is kind of difficult. You think about it, how many women are actually on Tinder, like what percent, and it really just becomes difficult to compete because this is how most women are meeting. This is how most people are meeting nowadays. I don't think it's right. I think you're absolutely correct about the cold approach thing. But they're still going to be the same people who are using the apps to begin with. True.
Yeah, I know you're speaking for the average guy. Mm-hmm. I want to go back to meth. Mm-hmm. Is it long last? Sorry, that was a big switch. Is that a big switch? Hey, Tinder, how about meth? This conversation, like in a vacuum, it just sounds so stupid.
Well, because people find it so interesting, dude.
I do. Yeah, because like Adderall lasts like 3-4 hours. I grew up taking it. How long? Doesn't meth last like 24?
It's 12. Yeah, 12-hour half.
Hey, do you lose appetite?
Yeah.
So then, how do you that's the big problem that I always had a problem gaining weight or bulking.
Well, that's not a problem. That's a good thing. You shouldn't ever want to gain weight.
No, but I was trying to gain muscle, and I can't.
But you can gain muscle and still be in a caloric deficit.
How?
Just by maximizing the two growth pathways that are going to be conducive to actually, hypertrophy.
I thought you need to be on a caloric.
No, you just have to be having an adequate amount of protein and getting an adequate amount of carbohydrates to stimulate your training.
It's not a calorie thing?
So the two kind of overlap. It's where people lose the context is with adding dietary fat into their diet, because dietary fat isn't really going to help you with any growth pathway besides secretion of testosterone, and that's not something I need to be doing. And even if you're a natural, the amount of testosterone that's going to be influenced by your dietary fat intake is so low that for you to detriment your macronutrient profile to such a high degree and have this in your dietary fat, it just doesn't seem worth it to me.
You can also working out on amphetamine is bad because your heart's already beating faster. I'm never gonna work out. Well, back in the day, I've never worked out on Adderall.
Yeah, no, there's no reason to, and I don't do that.
Okay, so so how do you balance meth within life? Because you have to work out.
Well, you have to work out in the morning and then dose after.
Oh, yeah, you just sold it right there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so you just do that.
And you're able to sleep at night?
Mm-hmm. Very well.
Do you take anything to sleep?
Nope, just circadian rhythm maxing. Going to bed at the same time goes a long way for people. I see an absurd amount of people thinking they need prescriptions like Xanax and benzos to be able to fall asleep. And it's like if you just had a predictable schedule and woke up to the sun, that would literally just do everything that you
Are you on meth right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm on no drugs at all.
Oh, so you're not addicted?
No.
Yeah, see, that's the difference. I've never been addicted to any drug. I mean, maybe weed. I was retarded. I know. I smoked weed for like 10 years, and I was like, oh, it's not addictive. And then I realized that it was slowing me down. Other than that, I've done a lot of drugs, and I never got addicted to anything.
Exactly. Yeah. No. I mean, that's just like a willpower thing, to be honest with you. I
didn't smoke a cigarette today. They're all saying cigs, and
Yeah, cigarettes are just a rare occasion thing, and It's not as bad as the vapes because it's actually difficult to smoke a cigarette. Like, what did we have to do at BRAINEAKO? Like, we had to walk
step
like, all the
outside.
way out there.
I smoke inside. In New York, I just smoke. It's because I have a good AC thing. So
Yeah, I mean, like
That's a problem.
that would probably be a bad thing to
now I'm
have.
thinking about it. Now I want one. It's really bothering me. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, nicotine's really good for your cognition, but I think you should just like almost switch to like the Zyn pouches to not have like.
I do Zen sometimes too.
Yeah, because nicotine could be good. It's got its benefits, but
Is cigarettes must hit on meth?
doesn't really like make a difference.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like I don't. Really,
No, not make a difference, but just feel really good because the.
Well, it would be the meth that would make you feel really good. Like, that's like drinking a bottle of whiskey and then saying like a beer has got to be great right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it really doesn't matter.
So why did they add in Adderall? Why did they add the physical part and not just the straight up dopamine? What's
just,
the point?
I mean, just bad science. Really, there's no reason to. Just to make it more of like, and it also makes it more addictive because there's
Really?
more use cases for it. Right? It's like people taking it before sporting events. It just makes it more like a utilitarian drug to take, and they want it to be addictive. They want people to not be able to stop taking it.
I never got addicted to it. Adderall was like, it sounds so repulsive. People take it for fun or parties. I'm like, how the fuck? I just want to do it to.
Exactly. That's just
homework.
like, that makes it more versatile if it's got a physical stimulant in it. That's going to make it more fun to go out and club, you know what I mean? So
I just don't see that. But if I'm on it, I'm at the club, I'm like, fuck, I gotta get shit done. Like, I gotta go edit right now.
well, right, but then, it takes your baseline down and it just it completely changes the way the drug works for you. But when you ask these questions like why are they doing things, like why is it suboptimal? It's just a corrupt industry, really.
Right, Big Pharma is supposed to get people addicted and sick forever.
Right, yeah, so of course. That's why independent research is like a huge tool that I advocate for, but the problem is most people don't have the IQ to make proper discernments when reading research papers
Right.
and analyzing studies. So that's why it's just like, what do we do about this?
Do you believe in ADHD and autism and that stuff? Or is
Of course, yeah.
Is it you believe that ADHD is real?
Yeah.
Well, they say I have it. They said it my whole life.
Just
that
dysregulated dopamine, so it's definitely real.
Oh.
And autism is absolutely real.
Yeah, autism is real. But ADHD, and that was a separate question. But 100%. Okay, what's the proof that ADHD is real? Just dopamine that's not regular. That's not.
Well, that's like a harder thing to prove, but there's like a whole psychiatric profile for it. And it's just something that I think is enough of a difference to necessitate some sort of prescription stimulant than like the normal brain chemistry. It's kind of just like a spectrum, though. Like, I don't really think people should think of it as like a binary thing. Like I have ADHD or I don't. Some people just might have slight dysregulation in their dopamine. But to give it like a term, I can see what you're saying, and like to give it like a checkbox.
What about depression?
Depression.
Do you believe what the red pill space? Like, we've been pushing the narrative. I've been saying this for years that depression is a decision and a choice. And a lot of times,
it's definitely your
it's fixable.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely your environment. If you're, have horrible environmental circumstances, yeah, you're going to be fucking depressed. But is that to say that people with severe depression who are, taking SSRIs don't have a differing brain chemistry that has their serotonin being completely dysregulated, and they've got a ton of different things going on in their brain that cause them to be in the state all the time? Yeah, it's like a lot of their brain chemistry is to be at fault. But I don't think I would go as far as to say that they should be on SSRIs and, potentially modulating their brain in an even worse way, than they would be otherwise. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it certainly is a real genetic thing, like depression.
Do you know what your IQ is?
No. That's another thing that is a cringe part of the internet. People making IQ claims, people relying on online tests, because you just start to become a better test taker when you're repeating these online IQ tests. That's why to actually have a certified IQ, you need to go in person, and you can't take them with too much frequency. So unless someone shows me their certified in-person IQ test score, I don't give a shit. You can tell if someone's intelligent or not. It's just not a metric that really means too much. And a lot of it is not as well understood as people think, with the whole race and IQ debate from the right wing.
What about bone smashing? Does one dude keep spamming that the whole time?
Bone smashing, yeah. Bone smashing is amazing, but...
What is that?
So it's where you're going to punch yourself in the face, like so I know it sounds crazy, but just bear with me here. So you're gonna brace your head and you punch yourself in the face.
You're joking, right?
No, I swear to God. Do you want to see pictures of me bone smashing? Like how it looks?
I believe you now. Yeah. So wait,
Okay.
how does it work?
So you're bracing yourself. You don't have to do it, and then you're hitting real hard. And what this is doing is this is creating microfractures. And according to Wolff's law, the bone is going to grow back stronger. And not only that, but you're also getting a lot of inflammation and swelling. So it makes your cheekbones look a lot bigger. So you get like an acute boost before you go to the club.
Yeah.
It's fucking legit, So it's just all these different things. It seems so autistic, but it has real logical use cases. So it's like if you could just separate like the autistic.
No, you're right. You're right.
side of
I'm
it.
laughing at it.
Yeah. No. I think it's a fair reaction. And
It's what's the difference between that and going to the gym? You're going to the gym and you're breaking down your muscle to try to repair it. Yeah.
real. It's just like, how far are you willing to go? It seems so outrageous, but like if you actually like break it down, like what are we doing here? And you just don't have like the initial, oh, this guy's fucking out of his mind for punching himself in the face. You can really get a lot out of like the looks community.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of MMA guys, this is a common trend, when they first get into the gym and they're around jiu-jitsu guys, they'll purposely punch themselves in the ear to get the cauliflower, you look at Dagestani ear.
I don't know if you guys saw Sean Strickland's x-ray of his shins before he first started MMA and, recently, but there was a huge increase in the size of his shins. So it's like, this is...
No, it's real stuff. Jake Shields is a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
He's pioneered American jiu-jitsu. Bro, his legs feel like concrete, bro. Like if he does like he's like doing like a little kick to practice.
Right.
You're like, holy shit.
No, yeah, absolutely. That I don't understand how those guys eat those, shin kicks or
Fuck
like
that, bro.
checking a kick with your shin. Oh my god, yeah, I can't even begin to imagine.
But Sean Strickland should work on he should punch a little harder.
People wanted me to box you on the brand risk, but it's like I don't like to box people like I would want to do someone like Hassan Piker, who I just don't like,
right,
or something like
that.
I
agree completely. There's someone that
it's like how
called me out.
Who called you out?
I don't want to say his name, but the chat might know. Anyway, like that's a guy that there's an actual.
Are you an MMA guy? Like you train and stuff?
I've trained some MMA, but I don't like getting like sweaty guys on me. So I'd rather just box.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like the jiu-jitsu thing just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, like rolling around on the mats with.
I mean, to a degree, it seems very primitive to practice MMA because we're in a world of technology. Someone's just going to pull out a pistol and shoot you.
I think it does. It's good for cognitive function because having confidence. If we're talking about looks maxing, being confident that you can beat up most people does change the way you walk around and speak to people.
Okay, well, I do like that. Way of justifying it. If you justify from like a cardiovascular or confidence perspective, sure, I think that's fine. But just on like a pure functionality basis, like fighting people with your hands in 2025 seems outrageous to me.
It happens,
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
it definitely does happen. I mean, look at Jordan Neely, that guy in the New York City train. There was a black guy who was, harassing women, and then he puts him in a jiu-jitsu hold, chokes him out, and he dies. But he
went to jail. Yep.
No, but then he ended up beating the case. That's a good example of jiu-jitsu in real life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, when stuff like that happens, like I would almost just take the bystander pill, man. Like nowadays, like
really,
because you help out like all these women who probably like hate you as like a white guy, and then what happens?
That's a good point.
You get your life completely thrown.
But then that's how we're all divided. If we just all see each other as libtards and everything, like, shouldn't we try to transcend that and do the right thing anyway?
It's like you should, but like if you live in a society that's not going to reward you for it.
You just get punished and shit.
There's no reason for it. You almost have to let things like go to hell so that we could actually like reevaluate things on a broad scale for things to go well. You don't think so?
No, I think that's a defeatist mindset, and you need to have people that, regardless of the situation, will do the right thing. Like even know that the libtard of women still hates you, but just because she's a woman, lead by example, and then show her that this is what men are supposed to be doing, and hope that this is going to change her mind.
Yeah, it's just such a small scale to like ruin your life over, like defending women who hate you. Like if that guy was able to just get away with that scot-free, I think it'd be a totally different story. But I don't really think it's a good idea to tell people to throw their lives away.
What about that girl in that Ukrainian girl in North Carolina?
Oh yeah, that's
like don't you like?
That's just horrible.
Shouldn't somebody You know, that's how more girls like that get stabbed in the train. If white people are thinking, or people are thinking that, okay, I'm not going to defend her, she probably is a libtard. She's a girl.
Yeah, no, of course she had like a BLM flag in her college.
I mean,
dorm room.
look, every girl does that. You know, they're just like
Right.
dumb.
Yeah, well, exactly,
You know?
and that's why, like, you know, a girl will ask, like, you know, why do you not want me to go to this party alone? And it's like, you know, because there's literally people that will just like kill you, you know, walking around. So that's like the first thing. But you know, what is someone supposed to do in that situation where a guy just like pulls out a knife and stabs someone? That could happen to fucking anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, you gotta have, like, you know, all these criminals, like, just you can't have them around. You know, you have to rebuild the society as a whole instead of just like advocating for good Samaritans, you know.
What would you do if you were president or prime minister, chancellor of America?
What would I do?
How would you fix the country? What would be your first course of action to fix society?
My first course of action to fix society would be certainly like having some sort of military presence in like all the cities would absolutely be something I would do. So Andrew Tate advocate for that in London. I think that's a really good idea. But it would have to be done a little bit differently than having tanks rolling around. Just like more of like a low key, just like huge like militia force that's not like really, you know, interrupting like the day to day. So I would do that because like the crime is the biggest problem. Like it's really ruining all the cities, and that's like one of the main drivers of the economy. And if you can't even live there without worrying about being killed, you can't even ride transportation, how are you supposed to run a country? Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, there's certainly a lot of problems with immigration, legal and illegal, that need to be addressed. Like I think the H-1B thing was certainly a step in the right direction, because it just doesn't seem fair that people are going to these universities paying like...
Wait, how was H-1B a step in the right direction?
No, the thing where it's like you have to pay $100,000 for H-1B visa.
Oh, okay.
So I think that was a step in the right direction, whereas, you know, it makes it more, you know, of a good idea for companies to hire domestically, hire people who are actually, you know, going to universities in this country. Because if you're not allowing people to graduate college and come into a workforce that has some sort of way to accommodate them, you know, you're really going to have a horrible result. You're going to make university not an attractive thing. So immigration is a huge problem, and I think people should stop worrying as much about, you know, the GDP as they should be about, you know, more of the societal and cultural things. I think that, you know, having a lesser GDP and having higher taxes, but getting something like really substantial out of it, well, acutely, it might not be the best thing in the world. You know, maybe the economy will start to suffer slightly, but over time, things will start to really improve.
How are you 19 years old? Did you just hear that, chat? Like, imagine someone in the chat was saying, compare this to 19-year-old Neon. I'm like, yeah, like, how the fuck are you 19? Did you just hear what he said? This thing, bro.
Thank you.
What do you think is the, I'm not trying to glaze, but like, what is the source of that? Like, how the fuck are you speaking this way at 19?
Well, practicing your speaking abilities as a content creator, it really helps a lot. You know, I will always just be recording tons of like raw footage. So speaking with eloquence is a huge thing, and just being like well read. And it certainly takes years to become, you know, someone who's able to speak on issues just in a random like we didn't plan this at all. Like I didn't read anything before this and not scripted. It takes years of development essentially. So what did I do throughout high school? Did I go to parties? No, I sat on my computer researching. You know, so these were opinions and these were things that were learned and really like hardened over time. So that's kind of how I'm able to do that.
More people are asking about the dick extender. But you did. Wait, I'm gonna see my coffee's here. I think it was delivered.
Absolutely.
You want one?
No, I'm good. Anyway, sorry for the political rant, chat. I know that's
not here.
that's not really my thing, dude. I don't think I've ever gone this into politics before in
Really?
my entire content career. So you might have just
Unlocked a new
part of. I mean, I like it. I think it's good. I think it'll make my streams a little more, you know, in depth. You know, and make
sure.
my character maybe a little bit more well-rounded.
Yeah, it adds another good element.
Yeah.
Would you vote for Nick Fuentes to become president?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I would definitely think that Nick would be good. Mm-hmm. That's. Yeah, I would say yes. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that you showed a little bit of apprehension.
Really?
Yeah. I thought you would have been more like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know if I agree with Nick on everything, but I think I agree with Nick on enough to say yes, you know?
Okay.
I would.
Do you recommend getting leg lengthening surgery? For the manlets in the chat, what would you recommend they do to fix their
Yeah, so
height?
limb lengthening is the best thing to do because we look at just the average income based on height, you know, and it really starts to
Yeah,
increase.
that's a good point.
You know, as you get every inch over 6 feet, it's like you're making like an additional, you know, couple $100 annually on average, which might not sound like a lot, but it just shows that height is a really important metric in the workforce. So yeah, you should absolutely do it. The unfortunate thing is this is not something that 99.99% of people are going to be able to do because it's a surgery that costs between 100 to 200 grand. You're out of work for 6 months to a year. And that's just not going to be realistic for most people. So talking about it, you know, for the average guy, it just doesn't seem like it's worth the time, you know. I would focus on things that you're actually able to have some sort of a chance in improving.
Do you think they should wear height boosting shoes or something, or?
Yeah, I mean, you could do that, but at the end of the day, it's just not really like, it's kind of just like a Band-Aid solution.
Yeah.
You know, so you could do that, but limb lengthening is the best way to go if you can, you know, acquire the resources to do that. But then you think back to the fact of status and money being so important that if you're able to accumulate that amount of wealth and not be tied to some sort of physical work, you know, you might just reconsider that entire thing, you know, because you're clearly doing social media, you clearly have, you know, some sort of income going for you that's substantial. Then is that, you know, $500 you know, annual increase in you know, income going to be worth it to you? Probably not.
So what's the difference in income for short people? Like, what other metrics can point to short people having a worse existence?
I can't tell you the exact you know, number that it would detriment you. I can only, you know, recall the statistic for how it actually helps you. And obviously, you know, we could just make the assumption that it would be of detriment, you know.
Okay. What about supplements? Do you take any?
Yeah, I take a fair bit of supplements. I am someone who's, you know, a big believer in vitamins as well. Vitamins and minerals are really important for people to get, and hitting that micronutrient intake every day. It's just like the only criticism I had of it before was, you know, apples and oranges versus missing your, you know, your multivitamin versus missing your, you know, your testosterone pin. But I'm just taking like basic like multivitamin, like vitamin D type stuff, you know.
Okay. Do you take magnesium to offset amphetamines, or is that all cope?
I don't take magnesium, but it's not for any reason other than just simple pill replenishment. Like whenever I run out of a supplement, like it'll take me a while before I just like, you know, I'm at the vitamin shop to replenish it because it's just something that has no substantial impact on my life, that it just goes unnoticed when I'm just like not taking my magnesium.
What about mewing?
Mewing is really good. So you're not.
That's not a. I thought that was cope too.
Well, if you think that you're going to develop into the best version of yourself with improper habits, then that's absolutely ridiculous to suggest. So, you know, mouth breathing, doing all the shit, you could have the perfect epigenetics and you're still going to have a face that's downgrown, have a jaw that's recessed. But the thing that, you know, I want to clarify about mewing is it's really going to have its most impact while you're actually going through that development early in your life. And at the end of the day, mewing is just proper tongue posture. That's where you're...
Yeah, what is mewing? I don't even know what it is. Is it chewing?
Literally just having your tongue sit on the roof of your mouth.
That's it?
That's it. That's literally it.
And you do that all the time?
Yeah, I mean...
And what's the benefit? It makes a stronger jaw?
Yeah, just, you know, has your face grow forward versus downward is the idea. You know? Because if
Right now.
Well, it's just not something you think about. It's completely subconscious. And if you have to force yourself to mew, that shows that you have some developmental issues to begin with, like a palate that's too narrow and unable to accommodate the size of your of your tongue. So then we need to look at other solutions like palate expanders. So it's just a good litmus test. Like, do you have to think about mewing, or can you just do it?
You're saying call from this, and that's not a call from this, bro.
Yeah, these absurd like logical leaps.
Yeah.
The Kick chat, man.
I know, man.
Insane.
They love it. Kick is one thing about creating content. You really see how there's different people on every website.
Absolutely.
Like the overlap is not as much as people think it is.
Twitch streamers and Kick streamers are so much different.
And so is the community. Like I get like so many of these people here are not like normal chatter. I mean, how many people are love speech? You can type it right now. But there's a lot of just like kick people and your love speech in my community.
Oh, I don't. What are you talking about?
No, I'm asking you how many people are from my community, or how many people are just kick viewers, or like Aiden viewers, or Cloud viewers.
Like you're saying to ask them?
I'm asking. No, I'm asking right now.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
I
trying
see
to
what
see.
you're saying.
Yeah. There's a lot of my guys. A lot of
Okay.
love speech in here, but it feels
Love
different.
speech.
It definitely feels different.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's not a bad community. I think it's like, kind of funny, but there's certainly a lot of trolls. Like, you know, they were like brutally doxing like
Oh, really?
my girlfriend. Like as soon as I went on a couple of them stream.
Oh yeah,
So,
incels and you know people.
yeah, it's just like more unhinged. But like, you know, once you're on the internet for a while, it's just like something that
You don't care.
Yeah, you don't care if like people are you know talking the most egregious shit to you, and you know it's just you get used to it.
Could you be monogamous?
Could I be monogamous? Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that's something I would have to disagree with Islam about is the polygamy thing. I don't really think that you're ever going to be able to have these strong bonds and any type of, you know, real connection to a woman if there's 4 of them.
I mean, how's that working? You don't have to have 4. Now, 80% of Muslims have 1 wife.
Okay.
Yeah, 80% have. You know, and some have 2, some have 3. But in my opinion, I think 2 is optimal. 2 or 3 is optimal. I think 4 is too much. Like that's too much for me personally.
So,
but how's that working out for white Christians right now? The wife guys, you see these guys, oh my wife, and they.
It certainly isn't for. It's not because of Christianity. It's because.
No, I'm not saying it's because of Christianity, but
Yeah,
that culture.
Yeah, it's not working out for them well, but I mean that's because the wives have been empowered to think that they could walk all over these guys, and quite frankly, it's the husband's fault for fucking allowing it, you know. So, but I wouldn't say that that's the fault of Christianity. It's just
No, I'm not blaming Christianity, but I'm saying maybe more specifically to monogamy isn't working for white people right now. The population is declining.
Well, monogamy is not working simply due to feminism and all this kind of stuff. It's not monogamy as an isolated
That's true.
thing.
But you know, what
Monogamy
prevents
is
a lot of that is not only Islam, but well, not just 4 wives, but Islam on a whole. You know, if you have 3 wives, they're not going to think that they're feminist girl boss. They're not. You can't have 3 feminist girl boss wives. They're going to be in their place. They're going to be competing with each other.
Yeah, but it just seems ridiculous to even think this like it is something that matters, because we know throughout all of history when feminism wasn't a thing, monogamy was ideal, you know. So why not just address the root cause being feminism and female empowerment to do ridiculous
So
stuff.
how can white people fix this feminism issue?
How can well, it wouldn't have to just be exclusive to white people. How can men fix this issue of feminism?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. That's not an answer. It would just have to be like some sort of political campaign and mass awakening to hypergamy. And that's almost what I'm trying to do is, you know, I would say that my surgery to a degree is kind of just trying to get the attention of the mainstream to talk about dating more, talk about feminism more, and the differences between men and women. So it's kind of just like, you know, trying to get attention because, you know, feminism has gone so far and the sexual revolution that, you know, you're absolutely right. Monogamy is, you know, fucking people over now.
Yeah.
And gender roles and hypergamy, it's out of control, really. And it's making men weak-willed, and that has tons of societal implications, you know? That doesn't allow a country to be strong if you've got, you know, the average couple, a wife walking all over her husband. You expect to have a country that's functioning, and you expect to compete with, you know, Islamic countries and, you know, all this kind of stuff. You're out of your mind, you know?
So you think, how important is that bond, like that complete, do you believe that stuff like my wife is my best friend type of rhetoric?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think your wife is your best friend. I think your male friends are going to be probably the people that you're able to connect with the best, but it's a different type of connection. Like you're always going to be able to have the best conversations with your male friends, and you know have the most good times and the most memorable times. But like it's more of like a spiritual connection to a woman. You know, so it's just apples and oranges, really. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So there's no point. I don't think that's the right way to phrase it. Best friend. You know,
Right.
just a different type of connection. Is what I would say.
Okay. But do you think when men start looks maxing and they become the guy that is able to take advantage of hypergamy, should they remain monogamous? Like, why?
I think you should take advantage of hypergamy. Yeah,
There you go. I mean,
do.
so you wouldn't be monogamous anymore. Like, especially after climbing the ladder to get to the top status. It's like, now I've did all this, and women have been sleeping around doing their whole phase, being their girl boss. Now I'm this guy, and you're going to tell me to only stick to one?
Well, because that's the society you live in, where hypergamy is, you benefit from it as a man who's in the top percentile. So why wouldn't you take advantage? It's fun, but is that going to be the most fulfilling thing that you could do?
No.
I don't think so, but it probably will be the most entertaining for you and make you feel the most rewarded. But because that's just what the society wants you to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow the logic you got earlier with like the bystander effect on the train, right? If you see it all crashing and it's going to go to hell, then why not apply that to dating as well? Like, is it dating? If girls are all feminists and they probably hate you.
Well, that's what I just said. I just said that you should take advantage of it if you're in the top.
So why remain?
Because you're letting it go to shit.
But then why remain monogamous?
Well, that's just my personal thing. It's just It's not what I advocate for. I just don't think that there's fulfillment in my life personally with like a bunch of whores and stuff like that.
Yeah,
quite frankly.
It doesn't have to be horror specifically.
Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, it likely will be for most people.
That's true.
That's just most women. Are you going to be able to have a polygamous relationship with 5 non-primitive virgin women? It's just not a realistic thing. Unless you're, I don't even know who to use as an example, because it's not something that matters.
Yeah, but I would say we can move on after. But if the most fulfilling thing is probably your mission, your goal. It's not even women.
Yeah.
And unless you're settling down and getting ready to have kids and a family, then I can understand having a different relationship with women. But for the guys that are like climbing and trying to improve, right? Women are entertainment for the most part.
Right.
And that it does prevent a lot of women from being able to take advantage of you if you see them as things that, not things, but if they see them as people to just have fun with it, it's entertainment.
Right, but then we go back to the question you asked earlier: how many hours a week do you spend on women? When it becomes entertainment, it becomes a waste of time and not something that's actually going to be fulfilling to your goals. If you're constantly spending your time on Tinder dates, that's not productive. But it could be something that is therapy for your soul to have a monogamous partnership with a woman that you actually like and that's actually able to uplift you. So that's kind of where they're a little bit different. But if you've got your life in order, once your income starts to become passive, and you want to fuck around with a bunch of girls after you ascended, you know what I mean? Who am I to say that you shouldn't do that?
How much do you spend, or roughly, maybe you don't want to say this for the IRS or whatever, how much do you spend on looks maxing?
So much more than people could fathom. I mean, but it's more of just like a comprehensive, improvement protocol rather than just like a looks protocol. Like, I'm doing a lot of things for cognition that are probably the main drivers for the cost. But in terms of looks maxing, probably just a few $1,000s a month.
What are you doing for cognition?
A lot of nootropics. I'm really into nootropics.
I don't know what those are. What is that?
So just things to, aid in like neurogenesis and like upregulate certain, pathways in your brain, certain receptors. Just make your brain function better, make you be able to focus. That's something that I like to talk about a lot on social media as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Where can I start? I want to start taking it. Those are good for you, right? That's not going to destroy something.
Well, nootropics, they could be if used properly, but there's a lot that has to go into your research and your protocol, because things don't work forever. There's a lot of nuances. Like, there's certain things that I take, like for example, dehexa. That's going to aid in synaptogenesis, which means you're creating new brain synapses over time, and you're actually able to get a lot smarter. So that's a nootropic. That's an example, but there's a lot of skepticism based on the lack of research behind and the lack of human trials. So you could potentially get like something like a tumor in the future if it comes out and 10 years from now that's something that's a carcinogen. So it's like nootropics can certainly be bad, but I think that they're phenomenal. If you really wanted to learn about nootropics, I would watch Derek does a lot of stuff on that.
Derek who?
More Plates, More Dates.
Oh, okay.
Derek More Plates, More Dates, like Leo on longevity. So it's a pretty like mainstream thing.
A guy in the chat keeps saying Tonkat Alley is a nootropic.
Yeah, technically.
Oh, really?
This is not something that's going to be comparable to the things that I'm doing.
Okay.
So I'm using another thing called cerebrolysin. which is outrageously expensive, but it's really good for neuroprotection when you're using things that give you an excess in dopamine, like stimulants.
Yeah.
Because dopamine, while it's really good, it's very neurotoxic. There's other things like drinking is neurotoxic. So I'm using these things to offset the neurotoxic.
Yeah. Do you get an amphetamine crush?
Not really noticeably, because it usually works out that I finish my work at that time, and I'm using such low doses that it's not like something that I've built a dependency to. It's more of just I feel better when I take it. I don't feel different when I don't, and that's how you have to remain on stimulants. And once there is a deviation from that principle, that's where we run into issues.
Yeah, I wish I could have been more honest about Adderall early. Like early in my YouTube career, I think Adderall was like one of the main driving factors to help me get from one level to the next.
Oh yeah,
it really changed my life.
It's like the movie Limitless.
It was super, and I just didn't want to talk about it because it has all the stigma. People think you're an addict and this stuff. But it's like I've never been addicted.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Who gives a fuck about the stigma of things?
Well, no, because it's not just the stigma. It's not because of the judgment, but you don't want to encourage people to start taking it, and then they're going to fuck themselves up and die. Like psychedelics, for example. I'm sure you're not a psychedelic guy at all, right?
No. I think psychedelics are a fucking joke, quite frankly. I've taken LSD before.
Did you have a positive reaction to LSD?
No.
LSD was like also changed my life, and I would never take it again. I have no need.
Exactly. So LSD, it can be really good. It's like on paper, it's got a lot of really good benefits for your brain. Like it makes your brain, you got like a lot of neuroplasticity from taking LSD. So it could help with your cognition quite a bit. Just completely separate from the introspection that you gain. So just like on a purely cognitive level, it is a good drug. But yeah, I don't think the psychedelic aspect is good whatsoever. I think people come up with a lot of bad ideas when they're on LSD and stick to them because they are in this weird headspace that allows them to justify it.
You're like joining cults or demons and stuff.
Because obviously when you're that impaired, taking psychedelics, things make sense in a different way. And that introspection, you might think like, wow, like I had this crazy like trip and it like, made me have all these ideas. Yeah, but they weren't fucking good ideas. And it's just you were so looped out on drugs that you convinced yourself they were.
Right.
So.
My revelation was like I've been making YouTube videos since I was 13. I stopped for 2 years and I was coping. I was in school. Mm-hmm. I was in college and I was wasting my life. And I took LSD and the walls started closing in. And I really had to confront that I was avoiding what I was supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't have that reaction. Some people go schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Some people just lose, or they get addicted, or they join a cult. So that's why that's why it's difficult. And I appreciate your content because it's so difficult to talk about this without encouraging people to do something that might ruin their life.
Yeah, well, for every, good LSD trip, there's probably a fucking dozen bad ones.
I like the bad ones, which is also weird to say.
Well, bad ones that, completely change
Fuck
someone's direction in life and make them a hippie and, shave their head or do something ridiculous. So yeah, LSD, I wouldn't advocate that people ever, use psychedelics, ever. I'm super against LSD. So yeah, but you're completely right. That's the thing that you want to avoid is influencing people in a negative light. But I'm very confident in my content that all the stuff that I put out there, if you actually take me at my word and you actually are, understanding all the nuances behind the things that I'm talking about, things will benefit you to a high degree, but you're absolutely right. The average guy is not going to be able to interpret what I'm saying about these pharmaceuticals, and they're going to fuck it up.
Yeah, they're all saying hair mog now because you said shave their head.
Oh shit! I didn't even mean that. That's funny. Yeah.
What about ashwagandha? That's DMT, right?
Ashwagandha, a little different. DMT is way different than ashwagandha, but I'm not sure the
just move on for a second. Someone else was asking about peptides. I'm curious about your
peptides. Yeah, peptides are great. So the most popular one out there right now is called retatrutide. It's a very similar drug to Ozempic. They're the same class.
Doesn't Ozempic make you go blind?
Certain people have been claiming that, but it's really just like correlation studies.
You take Ozempic?
I take a similar class of drugs. It's called retatrutide. So it's just like a stronger version, essentially, that just hits like different receptors. Okay. So this is the most mainstream thing, and people think, if you just didn't consume the garbage foods and you just ate like a carnivore or whatever, you wouldn't need these drugs. But, you know, the response that I would give to that is if you've got people so intended on, you know, fucking up a society, you're not going to beat them based on, you know, your willpower and your resources in most cases. You're not going to be able to afford to eat, you know, these natural organic foods. You're going to be having to eat, you know, the shit that they put in front of you. So you have to just go with the tools that are at your disposal to not detriment your looks in a high degree and to not get severely obese, you know, eating slop foods. So that's why I'm very pro retatrutide, very pro peptide. It's a appetite suppressant, and a lot of research goes into it, and it's been shown to actually increase your lifespan.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's phenomenal. Peptides are great. They've got a lot of different, you know, benefits, and you can do a lot with them.
Did you eat any dinner yet? Are you hungry?
I had a protein bar before I came up to your apartment.
You're not hungry?
I'm all set. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I want to get some food in, but I have to finish uploading this video.
What, were you gonna order stuff? Or you want to go somewhere?
I'm down to go somewhere.
Let's go to Chipotle. We could do that. Yeah.
We're not going to go to Chipotle because now they're going to know we're going.
Dude, I'm still new to this.
Yeah, they know we're in Brickell.
Fuck, my bad.
It's okay. We'll go. I know a good spot. There's
Okay.
There's some late night stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream. I have to go. I want to finish editing this video. I'm gonna upload a new the daily vlog on SNEAKO. I think for 6 days in a row.
Daily, wow.
Yeah, I want to go daily all until 2026.
Okay, good for you, man.
Yeah. So where can we look forward from? How'd you get your name, by the way?
Clavicular. That's based on the clavicle bones. So that's something that is going to be the main driving thing in your what's possible for you in terms of improving upon your physique. Because you could go to the gym for all you want. You could blast all the gear you want. But if you're someone who's super narrow framed, you're just never going to be able to have that presence that someone with naturally wide clavicles will, and they'll never have to work out a day in their life. So that's just the driving factors. Like, it's all about the bones. Like having super narrow hips, having super wide shoulders, like David Lade. That's what's going to give you the good physique. You know, you'll never be able to come close to that without the proper bone structure.
So it's like around your collarbone and
your clavicle bones. So clavicular was just like I made a bit of a change to clavicle.
It's a cool name.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're all saying IRL, but I'm
yeah, I don't
good
know.
off that.
We've been on for a while. We gave you guys enough content. This was our first stream.
Yeah, that was great, man. Wait, don't look. How long do you think the stream was?
Like an hour and a half.
2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah,
wow.
that's a good sign.
Yeah, usually I can never go more than like an hour without getting bored.
That's great. We should do more streams in the future. I think there's a good.
Yeah, this was very well flowing. So
yeah, I think there's some good there. Some people are saying you're like a chill Zerka.
Yeah, that's what the girls that Jack
They were saying that too?
said. They said I reminded them of Zerka.
He was texting me during the stream.
What'd he say?
I think he was talking about the Matt Walsh clip. He said,
okay.
"You are hilarious, funniest clip ever." But he won't tweet that. He'll text me that because he's
Well, no,
he's been shitting on Muslims a lot recently.
I think Zerka is really funny, and I grew up watching him. I actually took a lot of his advice into practice. So he was like a main influence on me growing up. So I'd say that's pretty spot on to say that.
Thanks for the gift, Kaja. Do you remember? You said you used to watch my stuff in high school. Do you remember YouTube or streaming?
Well, so yeah, I mean, a lot of it was political stuff, and I remembered seeing back in the day like your cinematic style stuff, and I've seen a lot of your content in actually New York City before I really knew who you were. So and then I knew who you were again after you started being more like red pill and political.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. Would you do something with Zerka? Maybe you could revive.
I would, but I don't know if he's really making content anymore.
No, not really. But I think it could be interesting. It could be interesting.
Oh, and in high school, I mean, that wasn't even that long ago. So I graduated last year. So I would have known about you, I think, well before then. Yeah, when I was in elementary school.
Damn, I'm fucking old.
I started, I think, watching Nick streams from time to time when I was in 7th grade. So I found out about him during the Groyper Wars in 2019.
Yeah, that was with Charlie Kirk against Charlie.
Yeah, those were
6 years.
The funniest stream I've ever watched of all time was when he was reacting to the Charlie Kirk sit down of all the Groypers going up to his live
Dancing Israelis clip.
Q&A. Yeah. That was like the peak of like social media because it was like so different of a time in 2019 what was socially acceptable. Now it's like that wouldn't really be as funny because there's so much outrageous shit on like uncensored platforms.
Right, we pushed the boundary, the over to Windows way further.
That was like something new. That was something unique that I had never seen before.
Yeah.
That was like really funny.
That is a great clip. I wonder how that guy's doing, man. Shout out to that one Goiper.
Yeah, man, because those guys like went up there like no face masks, like these cringe like Fed rallies, like they were just like ready to
Balls to the wall, bro.
ready to go balls to the wall on Kirk, man. So
The funny thing about, I mean, rest in peace to Kirk, but I remember the night before he died, because I used to go at him like the same way that I'm with Matt Walsh was with Charlie Kirk, because they're the same guy.
yeah, you almost like feel bad now that he's dead, but like when he was advocating for Israel and all that stuff.
No, I used to always criticize him. The night before he died, I was watching Nick's stream, and someone sent a super chat, and it said, Charlie Kirk walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Hi, why the small face?" And then he's dead, and then he dies the next day. I'm like the night before, I'm laughing about his small face, and then
Yeah, that's exactly, man. That was so shocking because I was with Danny Mullen. I don't know if you know who that is. He does like YouTube pranks, and we were like recording, and someone was just like, "Oh, Charlie Kirk like just got shot and he's dead," and it's like just so shocking to hear.
Oh yeah, he's like a pranker. He's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
So no, that caught me off guard for sure. It does suck that they took him out for his opinions. I know there was like a lot of questions.
It was Israel. Let's be real. I mean, you don't have to agree with my opinion on that, but like, who's capable of assassinating foreign leadership, for assassinating journalists and media? It's Israel. And look, 2 days before Kirk was assassinated, he said that he wasn't going to be bullied by the Jewish lobby anymore. That's a text from him.
I think it's equally as plausible to say that as it is to say that there's one crazy, liberal guy.
A transgender is capable of doing that and then texting about it. The whole Tyler Robbins theory makes no sense. The FBI has not conducted a thorough investigation at all. It doesn't seem like Trump cares to figure out who's behind it.
Well,
Erica Kirk, that whole charade has been strange.
How she's acting with just like blatant out in public with JD Vance. How he's like touching up on her.
Bro, grabbing the back of her head.
Oh
You know
my
that
God.
he met Erica Kirk on a trip to Israel? On a pilgrimage there. She was a former Trump beauty pageant girl. And like I talk about this, people say, "Oh, don't disrespect a widow." I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm talking about the facts. She's a former Trump beauty pageant girl. They met at a pilgrimage to Israel. Does that not sound like a honeypot relationship?
Yeah. And it's like, why not disrespect the widow if she's doing like the most egregious disrespect of his name that I've ever seen before, where she's having him touch up on him and like, she doesn't even look like visibly distraught in the clip where he gets like brutally shot in the neck. There's no grieving. Like it just, there's so many things that were wrong with her reaction that I don't think it's necessarily bad or disrespectful to call that out.
What do you think about, I know we're supposed to end. What do you think about Destiny?
Destiny?
Yeah, the chat keeps asking.
I don't really think
Have any opinion?
No. I just don't agree with him like almost at all. I think, the whole thing with his wife was it's really just conceptually, I can't even think about like how ridiculous that is. Like the whole open relationship thing he was doing. That's so over the line from what I would ever do or what I'm used to, or what's normal. First of all, not even about me, like what's fucking normal. That I can't really just take him seriously as a person.
Yeah, he's being. I don't think he's worth interacting with anymore. He's getting to that point.
No, yeah, he completely fell off, but there's no fucking.
We'll watch this. I'll watch the debate later with Mohammed Ajab. I have to check that out.
Yeah, I think he's a good speaker. I think he's a good debater. I just think he's wrong on everything. Essentially.
Do you have any opinion on the red pill on like Fresh and Fit? And they keep saying bring him on Fresh and Fit. Maybe if you want to speak to Myron, yeah, but
I think Jack Neal was trying to set something up with.
I would do something with Myron, but the other stuff is a complete waste of time, and you don't need to do it.
Yeah, I would go on Fresh and Fit. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that would be something that would be quite interesting to see where we kind of differ and where we agree on the whole.
Would you do the panel with the girls?
Yeah, I would.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would rather talk to him one-on-one because when you just bring on a bunch of girls and like give them a mic for them to interrupt, it doesn't allow the conversation to get as deep and to get super into like the really niche stuff or actually value. So
You were going to debate Myron, they're saying?
Yeah, I think I don't know if it was going to be like a debate or a conversation because I would just be really curious to see where we align and where we differ. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not sure. I think he would agree with a lot of the stuff I'm saying, because people put me into the category of, you know, he's a looks like genetic determinist. He doesn't think like, you know, all these stats from the red pill matter about like, you know, being confident, being, you know, someone who's having a high income, being like a high status male. It's like, yeah, I agree with all this completely. I just think we're missing something.
You see what they're all saying?
Rate fresh?
Yeah.
No.
You don't really do that, right?
No.
Yeah. So
I hate to do that. That's like a big thing people always beg me for. People come up to me IRL all the time. Hey man, could I get a rating?
I think that has like that's kind of your. That's I had the idea that was like.
I did not get mad at all for what you said. I think that's the biggest fucking problem with the Lux Max community is the rating. It's so some guy came up to me not too long ago with his girlfriend. Hey, Clav, can you rate me, man? It's like, dude, are you really gonna make yourself look like this much of a fucking retard in front of your girlfriend? It doesn't seem like a great idea to me. But this is how deluded most people in my community are mentally. They think that's a fucking good idea. So absolutely cringe. Absolutely the worst thing ever. You know.
Where can we find you and see more of your content?
If you guys want to see me on Kick, you could check me out, kick.com/clavicular0 or clavicular0 on all platforms. So thank you for having me on, SNEAKO. I appreciate
Thanks
it.
a lot, man. Let's do it again sometime.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Peace. Make sure to follow. You guys already know I'm not going to yap too long.